And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me, and I most certainly appreciate you for that. There's a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over the world, all over mainstream media, everywhere, and we're going to get into it. Congratulations to Joe Biden, Creepy Joe, for apparently winning the South Carolina primary already. I've not seen any results come in, but I guess it was kind of a foregone conclusion that he was going to win. I'm seeing AP, Fox, NBC, ABC, MS13 NBC, everybody saying that Joe Biden has won the South Carolina primary. Will he win anything else? You know, it's funny how they're trying to say that Joe Biden will win some conservative states, but he won't win any liberal states. That's not going to help a guy running for office as a Democrat, which are liberals. But that's pretty interesting. We'll get to that pretty soon here. The Black History event at the White House. Unfortunately, I was not there. I would have loved to have been, but I wasn't. But from what I saw and from what I heard, it was a great event. You got pictures floating around of a lot of my friends and people that I've not met yet, but I consider them to be friends because they're all in the same movement as myself. They're the Black conservatives praying with Trump, getting all kind of criticism. Barack Obama has pictures just like that with Black folks, and it's no problem. We'll get to all of that in just a moment on ABL Live. And I thank y'all for being here yet again. Most certainly appreciate you. Please hit that like button, hit the share button. And if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and subscribe right now. I most certainly appreciate y'all for being here. This is a call-in show, but get to the calls at about a 9 o'clock hour. But for right now, let's talk about the things that are happening. Shout out to everybody that are longtime viewers, first-time viewers, part-time viewers, whatever you are. Thank you for joining. But it's a whole lot happening right now all over these internet streets. Did you guys see Tom Steyer dancing? Matter of fact, before I get into a lot of the other topics that are going on, did you guys see Tom Steyer dancing to Juvenile, back that, well, it's a family show, back them hind parts up? Hold on, I'm gonna put it on my screen. Now, I probably can't play the music because they're going to try to strike me on YouTube. But matter of fact, I'll play a little bit of it. I'll just play it softly. Okay. This is Tom Steyer right here on the screen with his funny tie on stage with the rapper Juvenile from Cash Money, who came out with this song like in the late 90s. You might hear this song in, how can I say, a bar that may have no cover. You can just go in there randomly. You know what I mean? Like, check it out. What are we doing? What are we doing, Tom Steyer? I mean, like this is super cringe. This is like drunk dad. I don't understand what's going on. If you're trying to get Black votes that way, I mean, that's not really how you're going to achieve it. I mean, I would say just come with some policy or do something different and make yourself be somebody that people want to vote for or care about at all. And thank you for listening to this on an audio streaming platform. If you are, you can't see it. Tom Steyer is on the stage somewhere, I'm presuming in South Carolina, because you got the primary going on right there. And he has his regular dress shirt on, a light blue dress shirt with his funny tie that he always has. It might be his wife or his daughter or somebody behind him. They're kind of just awkwardly dancing. Think Elaine from Seinfeld. The good news is that there's an American flag behind them, which is something new for Democrats. Usually when they're on stage, there's no American flag because apparently it is as offensive as a Confederate flag to them. But that's a different story, and I'll move on. Okay, so that's quite enough of that. Tom Steyer, I don't know what your thought process is, sir, but I'm not drawn to go out there to the poll. What I'm drawn to do is have a hearty laugh, like straight from my gut out to the public, to laugh at what's going on, at the cringe that I see. Okay, that was crazy. But hey, when you're trying to get them votes, you got to do whatever you can. Hillary Clinton got to come with a truckload of hot sauce. Joe Biden got to pretty much do whatever he can. And Bloomberg trying to copy Trump, talking about blacks for Bloomberg. Ain't no blacks for Bloomberg. You got blacks for Trump. And that's a great segue into the Black Voices for Trump event at the White House. Well, the Black History event at the White House. It's kind of coinciding with the Black Voices for Trump and the things that we're doing. This event was great. Unlike Tom Steyer, we're not going to be in there dancing and all that kind of stuff like that. We're going to actually be at the table, sitting with Trump, talking to him. You go into the White House. You are able to enjoy a great speech about what's happening with the economy and things like that. You know, it was a really good thing. A lot of people were there. It was a packed house. And there was one picture in particular that made the news. Well, this has really been floating around in black media, and they're trying to really disparage us. But before I pull it up, I'm gonna get another picture ready so I can kind of compare and contrast. Yes, Blacks for Bloomberg, you don't know. Yes, he did come out with a group called Blacks for Bloomberg. I'm not really sure who's in Blacks for Bloomberg. If it has more than a few members, I have no idea, but I did see a commercial talking about that. But now there's another picture with Obama basically doing the same thing. Hold on. Let me see. If I can find it, I will cue it up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. So now this is a tale of two pictures. I'm going to show you one and you'll see the responses from it. And then I'll show you a different one and tell me if you heard anything about this. Now, here's a picture that people are really kind of triggered about. As you can see, you got Trump there praying at the desk, and a lot of black conservatives are with him. I think the lady right there with the blonde hair, I think that's Paula White, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know in the comments. I don't know a lot about people like Paula White. I think that might be her. And, you know, you have Diamond and Silk right here. You have Paris Denard. You have my man Derek Gradenigo. You have Arvita King. You have Stacey Washington, Rob Smith, Angela Stanton King, Daryl Scott. A lot of, you know, very powerful people in the black conservative movement and politics in general. Terrence Williams is right here. He was sitting right next to Trump. And they're praying with him. They're talking about, they're praising their slave master. They're in a sunken place. I'm seeing all kind of celebrities, people that you would see on television from years ago that still might see today. Tashina Arnold, she played Pam for Martin. Laz Alonso. I mean, Isaac Hayes' son, if I'm not mistaken, came out and said a few things. I'm like, wow, really? People that I liked in the past, you coming out and speaking against this? Why is it wrong for these people to pray with the president and to pray for the president? Because this guy is leading the nation. You know, it shouldn't matter who the leader is. You should pray for him because you want him to succeed. Because if the president succeeds, if the cabinet succeeds, if the government, if all three branches succeed, then we all succeed, right? That's kind of how it goes. Okay, you get all kind of negativity because of that picture. Now, contrast that with this picture with Mr. Obama. It's the same thing going on. I would not be surprised if some of the same people that were in the picture you saw before were in this one. I don't think that there is, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were, because it's all about just trying to pray for somebody and trying to, you know, wanting the best for them. Now, this appears to be later on in his presidency. This is not just because, you know, hope and change. I'm just coming in. It's a big moment. You see some salt and pepper starting to creep in. This might be second term Obama. So they're praying for him, wanting the best for him. I never heard anybody call these people coons and Uncle Toms and sellouts and all this and that. You know, it's really interesting how that works. The same thing is going on in this picture, but it's okay because it's Obama. See, that lets me know that people who were talking about that picture in a negative way aren't really mad at anything other than it's just Trump. You could take Trump out and put Obama in and it'll all be fine. Nobody would say you trying to worship him and you praising him and nothing like that. You would just say, oh, they're looking out for him. They're praying for him. They're praying for the country. They want the best for the country. They want the best for the federal government to run a nation very well, especially what you got going on right now with the coronavirus. You know, you don't want that to creep in. You don't want the Chinese situation happen over here. You want us to be safe. So what the comments really told me, what it showed me was people's biases they already had. People didn't like us black conservatives to begin with, and they don't like the president. So this is why you have a lot of these black groups and black organizations, because let you try to be a guy like me and, you know, maneuver within, you know, the so-called black community, dealing with family and friends. It can be really vicious, and people like that were commenting negatively are a part of it. But I also saw a lot of you guys out there and people in general that saw that picture and got a lot of strength from it. They're saying that it's inspiring, that it touched them. So that's what really matters. And I think those that enjoyed the picture, those that enjoyed the experience, those that really appreciate what was going on and appreciate us being able to pray for the president, I think those are the ones that really matter. Though the haters ain't really going to matter as much. Not at all. They're not going to matter, because we're going to succeed when it's all said and done. Okay, so I'm not even worried about it at all. We're going to keep on rocking and rolling. Like I said from the beginning, Joe Biden won South Carolina. He's gaining some endorsements. I think he gained Terry McAuliffe, the former governor of Virginia. But unfortunately for him, he's not going to win too much. Like I said from the beginning, he's not going to win too much anymore. That'll pretty much be a wrap. I want to see how the whole thing plays out as far as the results are concerned from South Carolina. If he wins with a big margin, which he probably won't, but he may. If he wins with a big margin, you'll be able to see that same kind of pattern duplicate itself throughout parts of the South. But he will not be able to really overcome Bernie. They're talking about Bernie's going to win California with a runaway. Man, it's looking like Bernie's going to be the guy. So you're going to have Bernie Sanders up against Trump. Now, how are you going to go out there as any American, regardless of what color you are, and support a guy like Bernie Sanders? I mean, do you want communism at your front door? Do you want to stand in a line to be able to get a bottle of water, a loaf of bread? Is that what you want to do? This man said that food lines are good because it means you have food. It's like, really? You want to have food lines? So this is a guy that was on record. He was not a young man. This man, like, he might have had 2 hairs left on his head and was fully gray talking about bread lines are good. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. So is that the guy you want to have to be your president? I don't know. So it seems kind of weird. People will be kind of like against Trump and not saying anything about anybody over there on their particular side of the aisle and who they really want to vote for. It's interesting, but hey, it is what it is. And I thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. You're right about that. El Dorado, who says 5,000 people died last week from regular flu. Corona is nothing different. Exactly. Corona is just a new virus that we don't really know how to combat necessarily. I mean, we know the basic things like any kind of respiratory illness, wash your hands, sanitize certain areas, like the basic things that you would do with a cold. If you are sneezing, go into your elbow, sneeze that way. Don't go like this, sneeze into your hands. Just real basic things that you would understand how to operate when you're talking about the flu or the cold. Just during cold season, when people start to get sick, you understand how to protect yourself. But it's just a new thing. That's all. Not much different than anything else that has been, that has existed before. I mean, you're talking about what, like not coronavirus, you're talking about H1N1, SARS, all kind of stuff like that. Matter of fact, I think I have a map saved somewhere. If I could find it, I'm gonna pull it up. Oh, here it is. Shout out to my man, Jack Posobiec, for the map. But this map pretty much, it kind of illustrates the other things that we've had, the other outbreak, disease scares, if you will, that have happened throughout the years. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. Now, there's a scale here. The lighter color, that's no reported cases, up to the black color, which is more than 10,000 cases. Now you can see SARS up here. That was November '02 to July '03. You see kind of what was going on. Interesting how China had the most cases again back then, but I digress. H1N1 was April '09 to October 10, and look at all the black. I mean, it was everywhere. North America, Brazil, what was that? Argentina, Russia, China, Australia, India, everywhere. South Africa, all of Western Europe, everywhere. That was H1N1. Do you hear about that anymore? And then you had MERS. That's more like Middle East. Zika was everywhere. That was in 2015 to 2016. And now you have COVID-19, which is what we know as the coronavirus. And of course, China is mostly black. You have some in, Iran, North America a little bit. Ebola, that was 2013. That wasn't too bad at all for anybody outside of parts of West Africa. Okay, so just put it into perspective. And then, like I said, in the video I did today, 80,000 people died from the flu in the 2017 winter. And from 2017 to 2018, that winter, 80,000 Americans died from the flu. Now, understand that you're not going to have that many people infected from coronavirus over here or COVID-19. I understand that, but just put it into perspective. It's not like going to be the end of the world. I think we'll be just fine, especially since we're able to contain it and we're not going to have a lot of people that come from that particular part of the world over here. And you have access to medical treatment a little bit more than you may have in a place like China, or maybe even better medical treatment. And we're not as densely populated like China. We got a lot of people now. So if it were to hit like a LA County or something like that, that'd be different. But I mean, Wuhan, like 20 million people. There's no city in the USA that has as many people in it. That's like an entire state worth of people in one city. And then that's not even the metro area. The metro area is like 50 million people. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Yep. So it is what it is. It's not really too much to worry about. I think people are just kind of overreacting, and the media is not making it any better. They're trying to say that Trump's not doing right. He's not responding to it properly. Same thing with the left. Then they try to say that Trump said that the coronavirus was a hoax. He did not say it was a hoax. He's trying to talk about what the left are saying about his reaction to the coronavirus. That's the hoax. It's the same thing as the impeachment kerfuffle and everything else that they do. You know, the Russia gate is the same thing. You're not giving enough money. You're trying to muzzle the disease expert, this, that, and the third. It's like, man, come on. We don't got no time for that. Like, let's put the attacking to the side. Let's put the partisan politics to the side. And let's make sure that we keep the country safe. And it was crazy when they asked Amy Klobuchar at the debate, hey, this whole coronavirus thing is happening right now. If you needed to close the southern border to protect American citizens, would you do it? She's kind of like hemming and hawing. I don't. Look, man, if you got to close the border, then close the border. If it doesn't make sense to close the border because of the virus, then don't do it. If it does, then do it. It's simple. You know, people want to, have these politically correct answers when there's no sense in even doing that. Especially not right now when we're trying to really get some things rocking and rolling properly. Alrighty, let me see. Oh, okay. Viruses don't have cures. Whatever, a vaccine, treatment, something. A way to prevent from dying because of the virus. How about that? Yep. And the numbers we're getting from China, I wouldn't trust at all. People are saying, the rate is this, the rate is that. We have no way of really knowing what the rate is because we don't know what the actual infection rate is. Greta Thunberg versus the oil company. I've not heard about that at all. What happened? I've not heard about that at all. People are saying that it's too early to call the Joe Biden, to call the South Carolina primary. I said it was too early too, but all news sources are saying that it's going to be Joe Biden. And as far as the coronavirus, I think it's not really a big deal at all. Just I think the main thing we can do right now is just keep the travel restricted and not expose ourselves too much to people that are in particular parts of the world where there's a big epicenter or a big outbreak. All right, let me see. Well, thank y'all for being here. And shout out to the super chatters already. You guys are funny. Shout out to my man, Jonestown Autopsy, who says, coronavirus makes you look like Maxine Waters with the clown emoji. Hilarious. Shout out to Justin Miller, who says, my random question of the day. If you contracted coronavirus and were forced into quarantine for an indefinite amount of time, who would you choose to spend it with? Warren, AOC, or Bernie? Well, that's a good question. Some of y'all will say AOC because of how she looks, but black men don't cheat. I'm not going to do that. Pocahontas, I'm not trying to be lied to for forever. I'm going to pick Bernie because Bernie, I can at least laugh at because he's a character. He's like a real live Simpsons character mixed with like a South Park character. So it'd be funny. It'd be entertainment. You understand? If I had no TV or nothing like that, no way to communicate, no way to entertain myself, or no books, no nothing, then give me Bernie because he'd be funny at least to hang out with. 100%. Alrighty. But thank y'all for joining. What else we got going on? It's a whole lot happening. Let me get to my list I have. Shout out to the United States government, to Trump, to everybody involved for brokering a peace deal with the Taliban to pull troops out of Afghanistan. Now, from what I'm reading on Politico, it says conditions-based withdrawal will be complete within 14 months if Taliban keeps their end of the bargain. Now, will they do that? I'm not really sure as far as the Taliban is concerned, but if we're trying to actually pull out, we have a deal in place and we want to just exit, then let's go ahead and do it. It's been a very long time. What's it been, like 19 months or something? Or not 19 months, 19 years, a very long time. So why not just go ahead and leave right now? What are we doing over there? What will it benefit us to continue to be over there? Let's go ahead and leave. Now, people were trying to say, I remember just like a few months ago, if not even that long, people were saying that Trump's trying to get into World War III because of the attack on the Iranian general, Qasem Soleimani. Remember that? Now we're talking about leaving Afghanistan. So we pulled some troops from northern Syria. Hopefully that'll be next to get out of Syria. We pulled troops from there. Now we're trying to pull totally out of Afghanistan. I say go ahead and do it. Let's get it. But do you guys think that the Taliban will keep their end of the bargain? That's what I want to know. Will they actually do it? I don't really know myself. I think that it would be just kind of up to them, really. It'll really be up to them to see what we're going to do. Alrighty. Let me see. But I'm reading some of the comments here. You guys are great. But we'll see. I wanna see what they're gonna do. And any other conflict we can stay out of as well. We're not gonna go into Iran. People were saying we're gonna go to Iran. We're not gonna do that. Afghanistan, we're leaving there. And what he said, I think at CPAC it might have been, he was like, we're not trying to be the world police. He said that over and over again. We don't want to be the world police. We're not the global arbitrators. We're just not that. We're just trying to do what's best for our country. That's it. We're not trying to fight for other countries. We're trying to do things that benefit us. Being in Afghanistan for years and years and years with no real positive results has no benefit for us. People say, oh, well, it's because of the poppy. I mean, you can grow poppy in other places aside from Afghanistan. It's not really a big deal, you know. So we're going to leave Afghanistan, and that's what I'm all about. Now, Christopher W. says the oil company made a sticker of Greta and showed her getting. Wait, hold on. Wait. I can't say that. This is a family show. Oh, okay. So basically, they made an explicit sticker of Greta Thunberg. You can't be doing stuff like that because, number one, Greta Thunberg is underage. So that right there, you can get locked up for that, number one. Number two, that's just outside of what we should be doing. But definitely the underage thing. Now, you can't be doing stuff like that. So nah, I don't know what they're thinking about doing that. Like, why would you even do that? That's just kind of weird. But the oil company, we talking about like an oil company, like BP, Exxon. What are we talking? Are we talking about like a small company? Like, let me figure out what's going on. Did the company do that themselves, or was it like some kind of offshoot doing it for the oil company? That's what I want to know. All right. But what else we got here? Um. Oh wow! I almost forgot about this. Did you guys see the Bernie Bros? Or in this particular case, it was a Bernie sis acting up. Did you see that? Now, this Bernie girl who calls herself a burner went to Democrat Party officials' houses at night with a bullhorn and a flashlight outside of the house talking about, we don't want any shenanigans happening at the primary. We want, what was it, like transparency or something. Basically saying, don't screw Bernie out of the primary as you did last time. Now, that's up for debate whether he got screwed or not. Maybe he got screwed out of the nomination last time, or maybe he sold it to the highest bidder, which was Hillary Clinton. Because right after he got, quote unquote, screwed out of the nomination in 2016, he supported Hillary Clinton. So, and then he runs again this time. So I'm like, okay, if the DNC took the nomination from you, then you go out here and support Hillary Clinton, and you come back and run with the same party, and you have faith in them, and they won't happen again. Like, I don't understand what's going on. What are we really doing? So I don't know. Anyway, the girl came to this man's house, not just one guy, and the guy was a Democratic Party chair in Nevada. She also came to, or went to, two California officials' houses. One was the Secretary of State in California. Another one was the chairman of the Democratic Party in California. Like, look, okay, if you want to protest, that's fine. I got no problem with that. Freedom of speech, go for it. I have no issue with you protesting, but don't come to my house. I do have guns, and I'm looking for a reason to defend myself. I'm a nonviolent person. I never harm a fly, but if a fly bit me, I'm going to swat it. You understand? I'm not looking for trouble, but don't come find me. Leave me alone. Don't come to my house. Simple. I don't care nothing about free speech, nothing. Just don't come to my house. You can, if I'm out in public, you can walk up on me, not like sneak up on me, but you can like approach me. You could talk to me. If I'm at some kind of political event, you could protest, do whatever you want to do, but don't come to my house. Now, the guy, black guy, by the way, which is funny, he came outside because he was being harassed at his house at night, flashlight all in the window. He came out and said, hey, you guys are crossing the line here. We don't care about that. We want to have, I forget what the word was they used. Basically, they want to have transparency in the whole thing. The police were called, but by the time the police got there, they had left. Now, they're talking about, oh, we got freedom of speech. We're able to protest, all that and the third. I'm like, okay, if you have the freedom of speech, you can protest. Why would you leave when the police come or before the police come? Because you know you're not doing the right thing. You know you could get arrested. Really, that's called trespassing, disturbing the peace, all of that. Just from being out there on somebody's property at night, flashing the light, harassment, disturbing the peace, trespassing, all of that. But some people ain't gonna, they're not gonna call the police. They might just go ahead and pop that cannon. I don't condone that, but some people are gonna do that. Don't come to my house. That's it. You know, that's pretty much all that it is. Now, Bernie has had a history, not himself, of course, but of his protesters doing things that are just really crazy. Remember at that rally where a guy wearing a black guns, GUNS, Guns Matter shirt, got into a fight with a Bernie bro? The Bernie bro started it, just run up on him and started swinging. White guy swinging on the white dude because he had on a black Guns Matter shirt. These guys are just a few trees short of a forest, a few fries short of a Happy Meal. You know, they just ain't all the way there. You know, they got a few screws loose. Anyway, that was a mild one compared to the guy that tried to kill Steve Scalise and a bunch of other people out there, Republicans that were out there at the congressional baseball game practice. Steve Scalise almost died because of a Bernie bro. I've not heard about any Trump supporter hurting anybody like that at all. The closest thing you have is a so-called MAGA bomber, but that guy allegedly was a Bernie bro. like 2 weeks before that. Okay. But he sent some quote unquote pipe bombs and nobody got hurt. I don't know if they actually worked or what was going on, but nobody actually got hurt from that. But the Bernie Bros are doing fighting, shooting, coming to people's houses. They're crazy. And what are they going to do when he loses? Because he's going to lose the election if he gets that far, because they're talking about brokered convention that could happen. I doubt that it will happen. I think he might get a nomination straight in the way. But they're talking about brokered convention out there in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken, at the DNC. Now, if that happens, what are they going to do? That's going to be a problem, because they're going to say, okay, they're going to steal it from him again. They won't let him get it. And if he doesn't get it, what's going to be the reaction at that point inside the Democratic Party? You can't blame us on the right. It's not our fault. We didn't do it. So I don't see the point in the Bernie Bro coming to a conservative rally and harassing us. You just saw it out there in Nevada with the Bernie sis going to the Democratic Party officials' houses. They ain't gonna mess with us, really, because they'll lose the nomination. They'll go and attack the Democrats. They'll attack Biden supporters. They'll attack Pocahontas supporters. They'll attack Klobuchar supporters. They'll attack Tom Steyer supporters or Bloomberg supporters and Democratic Party officials. That shouldn't be happening, but I think they have an eye on it just to make sure that it doesn't and they stay safe regardless of what the situation is. Okay? But what are they going to do? I hope they don't really go too far over and above the Call of Duty. Not at all. Bernie is a beta. That's right. Rapper 10,000. Yeah, they're crazy. The Bernie Bros, I think the excuse that the Bernie campaign, or maybe even Bernie himself, gave was, oh, well, you got a few people on the internet that act crazy. Just a few people on the internet only. I mean, there have been plenty of cases of not just online harassment, but offline harassment, people getting hurt and they're shot, almost killed, and everything else. So I think it's gone a little bit further than just, some online knuckleheads releasing some tension. It's a little bit deeper than that. 1,000%. Oh, yeah, you got to vote. That's right. I know I'm going to butcher your name. Cheekness? I know. I'm sorry I messed it up. But anyway, yeah, but you got to vote. Super Tuesday is Tuesday coming up. Today is the last day of February. Sunday is March 1st. So Super Tuesday, that's March 3rd. That's Tuesday. So if you vote on that day, go out early, as soon as you can, and vote. Just do it. There's no reason for you not to do it. It's free. Just go ahead and cast your vote and let it be heard. And for real, I predict that it's not going to be a lot of people there. It's not going to be a big crowd like election day. Like the general election. It's not going to be a big crowd. So go ahead, go out there before you go to work, after you get off, or whenever you get a chance, and vote. I'll be doing it first thing in the morning, and I will have, you voted by mail? Hey, there it is. Shout out to you. Shout out to you if you were early voting by mail or whatever it is. Go ahead and do that. But if you've not voted yet and you're on Super Tuesday, go ahead and vote on Tuesday. And whenever your particular state votes, vote that day if you've not voted already, or if you cannot early vote before then. If you can't early vote, go ahead and do that. But I like to go down there and cast my ballot. And I will post my picture with my sticker so you know that it is no game. 1,000%. Let me see. Admiral Wasteland says Obama didn't win in both elections for South Carolina. Neither will Biden. Well, Obama, you're saying he did not win South Carolina? Biden did win South Carolina. Maybe you're talking about he did not win the first couple of primaries. And the thing about Obama was a whole different animal. Obama was something new, something different, came out of nowhere. Biden ain't that. Biden been in government since the 70s. And he's been the vice president before for 8 years recently. He was a previous president's vice president. So everybody knows who this guy is. Biden just don't have the juice. They're trying to say, oh, well, Obama didn't do well. Like comparing Barack Obama to Joe Biden is like comparing a brand new car with like 5 miles on it that did not have any miles on it before it got 5 and started to roll versus an old beat down 1987 Eldorado with 400,000 miles, a bad alternator, no brakes, bald tires, a shotgun blast exhaust, all of that. You understand? Like, you about to break down. You are 1 gallon of water away from breaking down on the interstate in a snowstorm without a way to even get towed off the interstate. You understand? Barack Obama is like a brand new a jumbo jet, just going wherever he wants to go. That's what he was in 2008 campaign. But now Joe Biden ain't that. Trump, however, is just a streamlined jet, just cruising. And you can't really stop him. So it is what it is. Alrighty. Yeah, they gonna call me racist for talking about Obama. That's hilarious. But hey, that's pretty much where we at nowadays. I get called racist by a random white liberal who wants a virtue signal. Like, you're gonna tell me that I'm bad for me. I think that I know if I'm good for me or not, versus a stranger who does not know me saying that I'm bad for me. You know, that whole thing doesn't make any sense at all, but it is what it is. Damien said, check out the New York Post about Black Trump supporters on the rise. Now, when did that come out? I want to see this, actually, because it might be some good information in there or some bad information. Oh, we're definitely on the rise. Please believe we're on the rise. Don't be confused. You may see Joe Biden win pretty heavily, or he may win pretty convincingly in South Carolina because of the black vote, but there's a lot of other black folks that are not going to vote for Joe Biden in South Carolina and other states. Will it be the majority? Not quite yet, but it'd be more black folks that vote for Trump than in 2016, and more that voted for Mitt Romney in 2012, and more that voted for John McCain in 2008. It's a constant thing. We're constantly rising, 1,000%. February 12th. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Thank you, Damien. I appreciate it. All right, BB7GG. No cursing, please, in the chat. If you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. But why would you legalize all drugs? I don't understand. Drugs have become decriminalized in certain parts of the country. You want to guess where they are? Take a wild guess. Okay. Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, Los Angeles. I saw a video from Seattle where a homeless group were in a tent cooking meth, and then the small lab they had blew up and the tent caught on fire. They stood at the tent for it seemed like an eternity, trying to figure out what they're going to do to put out the fire. One dude spit on the fire to try to put it out. I'm talking about the fire is raging. The whole tent, the whole half of the tent is engulfed. He spit on the fire after 5 minutes of sitting there looking at it. Okay, do you want that just to be randomly? And this is not just in some kind of random place. This is like in the business location. You got a guy working, a mechanic trying to get to his truck. And here comes a meth lab on the side of the road blowing up. And then they are just looking like, I don't even know how to describe it, like just brain dead. They're fighting each other. The one guy was in the street laying down, like he might have been halfway dead, ODing. He gets up, fights the girl. It was crazy. It was a mess. That's what not free drugs. That's what legalized drugs get you. Because anybody getting arrested, ain't no police or nothing. They just doing whatever they want to do. I mean, and then of course, San Francisco, you have doo-doo on the ground. Check it out. You're trying to go to a nice little bistro, right? You're trying to enjoy your day in San Francisco, hanging out, chilling. You eating your Reuben sandwich with your nice little beverage. Here comes the dude, pulls his pants down, and doo-doo's right in your line of sight. You can just see directly the jank come out. Okay, at the cafe when you outside. That's drugs. People could say mental illness. No. Drugs. People are mentally ill, all right, because they're on drugs. Some are mentally ill in general, but drugs is what fuels all of this. The tents you see with all the just nastiness and the disarray and the rats and the cats and the bats and all that kind of good stuff, just being in one area, that's because people are on drugs and they don't understand how to keep their area free from all the garbage and the needles and the human waste, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's what's going on in places like San Francisco, Seattle, aka Freeattle. There's no enforcement on the drugs at all. They've been told, stand down. If you see a junkie banging needles on the side of the street, stand down. I saw a video where a little girl was being walked to school by her mom or somebody. A fiend is right there with a needle like this. Imagine being a little kid walking by that. How safe is that? He might just decide, you know what? I don't want to shoot right now. I'm gonna poke you with it. Boom. Now you got HIV. Drugs. I've lived in a drug-infested environment before, and I don't want to go back to it. I refuse to go back to it. Not going to happen. So, nah. People can say they want to legalize drugs, but then when you have the consequences of legalized drugs, you don't know how to deal with it at that point. Then you start doing stuff like needle exchanges, injection sites, and all that kind of BS. You know, you don't want that at all. So it is what it is. Yeah, open air drug markets, you don't want that. Oh, I saw that. I saw Oprah fall. People are saying, what they say? They said that, it's catching up with her because she hates on black men so much. I think she just fell. You know, I don't think she fainted or nothing like that. She may have fainted, but I don't think that's what happened. I think she just fell. She just tripped. You know, it was a pretty colossal fall. I heard a thud. I'm surprised she didn't actually, you know what I mean, damage herself a little bit more. She was straight, but she got kind of that rock solid build. Yeah, Oprah fell on stage, yes. She was talking, ironically enough, she was talking about balance, ironically enough, and she just took a couple steps and tripped and fell. But it wasn't like that bad. She was able to kind of like get back up without any assistance, so she was okay. But people are trying to say that it's like because she hates on black men. I don't think it's that deep. I think she just fell. People fall and it happens. It wasn't like Wendy Williams when she fell out, like when she fainted, like, you know, like a sack of potatoes. It wasn't like that. Alrighty. Exactly, Damien. He says, I'm from the Bronx. In the 90s, there were dope fiends on every corner compared to now. Exactly. It was like that until it got cleaned up. Probably by who? Giuliani came in there, cleaned everything up. Yeah, you don't want to see stuff like that. The fiends everywhere. I could tell you, I've been in a crack house before. I was in a crack house when I was like 5. That's a story I'm gonna put in the book. I can't tell the whole story right now because there's certain people involved I can't mention. But yeah, I done seen stuff like that, man. You don't want to be in there. You don't want to be in that kind of environment. But shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you to all the super chatters. Thank you to Miriam Vidal, who says Joe Biden is very excited to have won a Senate seat in West Carolina. Yeah, that was crazy. It's like, sir, you're not running for Senate anymore. You've not been in the Senate since 2009, and you're not going to be in there anymore. And you were in the Senate in Delaware. You're in South Carolina, sir. Do you even know that? Then he was like, okay, I'm in South Carolina. He was a mess. Obviously, Joe Biden does not have his faculties anymore. So we should just go ahead, drop out, go home with his family. Speaking of guys that are kind of losing it, Chris Matthews got Tim Scott confused for another guy that's running in South Carolina. I forget my man's name. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. He got Tim Scott confused for Jamie Harrison, and then the guy was in the clip at the end. That was hilarious. Hold on.
Democrats.
Jamie, I see you standing next to the guy you're going to beat right there. Maybe. Lindsey Graham.
Tim Scott.
Jamie.
Tim Scott.
Who's that?
That's him right there. That is not Tim Scott at all. That is Tim Scott. This guy is not Tim Scott. That's Jamie Harrison.
Tim Scott.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's
Look at his face.
the other senator, Tim Scott. What am I saying? Big mistake. Mistaken identity, sir. Sorry. Tell me how you're going to beat Lindsey. Everybody knows Lindsey.
Come on, Chris Matthews. You got to tighten up, man. But anyway, I thought that was funny. But Super chats, we got a few more. Let me read them off right quick. Thank you to Joe Mitchell, who says, hello from Ireland. Thank you coming from Ireland. I most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to William Garcia, who says, ABL would need the elephant in the room t-shirt. Hashtag Uncle Corn Pop for retirement 2020. I'm going to get that one for sure. The elephant in the room. Yes, I'm going to do that one. Thank you for that, man. I definitely appreciate you. And that's a great way to mention my store. If you like these hats and whatnot, I have a bunch of other hats and t-shirts and hoodies and coffee mugs and stickers on my store, ablmerch.com. Again, that is ablmerch.com. Thank you to Justin Miller, who says, my random question of the day, if you contracted, already answered that one. Yeah. And shout out to Charles Hunter Jr. for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you, boss. Thank you. There was something there, but it's not there anymore. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Claudia Dawkins for your donation, who says, thanks for being you. Well, hey, it's no problem. Thank y'all for being here, for letting me do what I do. I appreciate you. Shout out to Edward Mason, who says West Carolina is one of 57 states Obama visited. Yeah, I remember that. You know, the whole thing about that many states talking about, you spell respect, RSPCT. He doesn't get much kickback from that. But if Trump misspells a word on Twitter, then it's the end of the world, like the covfefe and stuff like that. That was a whole big thing. The covfefe, I guess he was trying to say coffee or something. I don't know. But that got so big that Google intervened because people were searching what the term actually means in Google Translator. And in Arabic, it's anglicized to actually be a phrase talking about strength or power or something. I forget what it is. But then they changed the translation to say like gibberish or something. All of that for a typo on Twitter. But you could say there are 57 states and there's no problem. You could just spell the word totally wrong live on stage and that's okay. I don't know. It's a weird time. I think a big part of this is because social media has become so big and it's become ever present in people's lives that anything you say or do online gets magnified by 10, or I can't even by an infinite number if those that don't like you get a hold of it and they have the power to be able to magnify it. That's kind of what's going on. Thank you to Allison Reeses. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, who says, if pro is the opposite of kind, what is the opposite of progress? Congress. Alrighty. Thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. And that was good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. 100%. Very good. Alrighty. Thank you to everybody for being here. Robert coming from San Francisco. Hey, I'm glad you're out there and you're safe. Hopefully you're safe in San Francisco. 100%. And thank you to Damien, who says, to all download Trump supporters, please stand up. Yes, please stand up. If you don't want to stand up because you got family, you got friends, all this, that, and the third, I can kind of understand to a certain point. What I want you to do before anything else is to go out there and vote appropriately. Don't allow people to bully you into not voting for who you want to vote for, because once you in that booth, it's just you and your ballot, and that's it, and nobody else there. But I think if more of us come out, we may outnumber those that are on the opposing side. At least people that understand politics, really. A lot of people are just kind of passively dealing with politics and not really in it at all. It's a lot more of us than people really understand. The rapper 10,000 says, I'm dealing with a racist political science teacher who made this statement. There were no black conservatives or Republicans, unlike in the Democratic Party. Really? I mean, when they say word, what do they mean? What's the context of that? Like at a particular point in history? Like when there's always black conservatives. You know, there's more black Democrats now, but there's always been black conservatives. That's never not been a thing. It's just a matter of how many of us are conservative, how many of us aren't. And I think we're starting to grow up and gain more people as time progresses. Yeah, 100%. Alrighty. But yes, please go out there and vote in the primary. If you vote Tuesday, Super Tuesday, it's coming up this Tuesday, March 3rd, because tomorrow is March 1st. Tuesday will be 2 days later, March 3rd. Go out there and vote if you're able to, or whenever your primary is, if you've not voted already. Some of you guys are already voted through mail-in, early voting, and that's great. Shout out to you. But if you've not voted yet and you can't early vote, go out there and vote Super Tuesday or whenever your particular election is in your state. Mine, Super Tuesday, I'm going to be out there bright and early voting ASAP. As soon as I get up, as soon as they're ready, as soon as they open, I'm going to be in there casting my vote. And it'll be quick because I don't think it's going to be a super big turnout, not like the general election. The average person will not vote except for in a general election. I mean, I like for that to be changed, of course, but I think anybody that can go out there and vote in the primary should do it. And if people don't know about it, tell a friend and tell a friend. Say, hey, you know about the primary, go out there and vote. 100%. It's a free thing. It's your right. Utilize your right. Go out there and vote. That's right, Bill from the Hills, who says, get all of your friends, family, coworkers registered to vote. Yes. Get everybody registered to vote. It's easy. It's quick. Get them registered. Go out there, vote. You're going to need all hands on deck because I think we're going to win pretty convincingly. But, you know, it's going to be some funny business going on. You got a lot of these Democratic states is, you know, no voter ID and stuff like that. There may try to be some, there may be some voter fraud, some stealing of votes, dead people voting. You don't want that to happen. So you definitely want to go out there and vote 1,000%. VJ says, introduce Biden at his South Carolina rally playing funk music. Hilarious. Hey, but you got to do it. You out there, South Carolina, you know, you got Tom Steyer dancing with Juvenile talking about back that thing up, you know, doing the cringy Elaine from Seinfeld dancing to rap music on stage with the rapper. That was crazy. I'm like, why would you pick Juvenile out of all the guys in the world? It's like, I don't understand. There was no point in doing that. All it does for me is just give me some material to use on social media, and so I can cringe and laugh at it and have fun with it. It didn't do anything for him. I mean, I don't really understand that whole thing. Maybe they think, okay, we're going to South Carolina. There's a lot of black folks, so let's get a random rapper. And they have lists of people that you can actually book, and it'll tell you how much they cost and stuff like that. True story. And they probably went through the book and it said, okay, here's a hot song from the 90s. It costs this much, not a whole lot of money. Okay, book him. And then he's up there with Juvenile talking about back that thing up. That's probably what happened. But I'm just kind of shooting from the hip, so maybe I'm incorrect about that. I have no idea. Okay. Bio Soccer 420 says only 39% and Biden winner. Hold on. Let me see the actual South Carolina primary results. Okay. Right now it's 50%, but that's okay. It's 40% in with 50%. So I think you might have been saying only 40% in and Biden won. Yeah, they were calling Biden winning with 0% in. They called Biden winning as soon as the polls closed because everybody knows he's going to win because Joe Biden has a foothold in the black community because of his proximity to Barack Obama. And that's the only reason why he won. He was polling way far and beyond anybody in South Carolina. It wasn't even close, like almost 50%, really. So that was a pretty easy one to select because the other guys pretty much split votes between them. I think Bernie and or Tom Steyer may be number 1 and number 2, respectively, behind Joe Biden. So that was pretty simple to kind of figure that one out, even without having the votes in. So for right now, matter of fact, I'll put the votes up. I'll put the tally up on the screen so you guys are able to see it. Give me 1 second right here. And okay. So it's kind of hard to see, but you got Joe right here. He has so far 25 delegates. Bernie so far has 6 delegates. Very interesting. 43% in, 54 more delegates available. And he has 110,000 votes so far with 43% in and 50% of the vote. That's Joe Biden. Now, okay, there's no Republican primary there. I don't think there's going to be any more primary on the Republican side. I don't think so. I think, who was it? Joe Walsh and Bill Weld. I think they're pretty much done. I think Joe Walsh is done, but I don't know about Bill Weld. He should be done. I don't know why would he continue to, he has no chance of being able to do anything at all. Nobody likes him. Nobody cares about him. But as of right now, Joe Biden is doing pretty well in South Carolina. But I want to see what the final tally is going to be. because the margin of victory matters as well. And the thing about it is, although he's doing well right now in South Carolina, that won't really help him going forward because a lot of people have already banked their votes in other states where you're able to vote early. Like a large part of the votes have already been banked in other states. And people have a pair of eyes, have ears, and they see him on the campaign trail. He looks a hot, stinking mess. So why would you vote for a guy like that if you have half a brain? I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's what's happening right now in South Carolina. But I thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. Please hit the like button, share the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. Go ahead and do that for me. That'll help me out so much. I'd appreciate y'all if you did it for me. 1,000%. I saw that. Hold on. Robin Mead says, anybody else see Trump destroy Mini Mike with one podium move, spit my drink out? Yeah. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I saw that. If I can pull it up right quick, I will. That was hilarious. And before I even say it, I'm going to try to pull it up if I can. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This is it. Okay, Trump mocks Bloomberg's height by crouching down behind podium at CPAC. I saw this. I was like, is that a meme? Is it real? He literally, that right there, that's going to be a meme all day long. Oh, I can see it. Come football season, when your team ain't doing good and you want to change and you don't want nobody to talk trash to you, that's going to be a meme right there. 1,000%. Matter of fact, hold on. It's a video, conveniently enough.
But that's all right. Because she had those burning embers, and then she started, but ultimately she failed. She's gone so. But she was really mean to Mini Mike. I'll tell you, the way she treated her. He didn't know what hit him. He's going, oh, get me off of this stage. Get me off.
Oh man, the guy's funny, man. I mean, you can't deny he's funny. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give Obama credit. Obama, what he was smooth and like cool. That's what his personality catch was. That was the main thing about Obama people like, was his coolness. But for me, with Trump, he's just a funny guy. You know, Obama was cool. Trump is funny. And that's just personality. But as far as policy actually gets things done, unlike Obama. So Obama gets points for being cool, but no points for actually running the country. Trump gets points for being funny and running the country. So the pros outweigh the cons when you're talking about Trump versus Obama. But I digress. This right here, hilarious. Yes, 100% charismatic. Yes. All day long. Okay, did Walsh quit too? All right, so nobody going to primary Trump. Yeah, but that was at CPAC. I should have gone to CPAC. I'm gonna go next year, but it's so expensive. And the thing about CPAC, you gotta like, as soon as they announce it, you gotta hop on it because it's gonna sell out. The hotels are gonna sell out. Yeah, I'll definitely be going next year for sure. And next year is going to be crazy because you're talking about right after the inauguration. I'm gonna try to go to the inauguration next year, and also, what else? To the inauguration and also CPAC next year. Oh, and I may be in Los Angeles coming up in mid-March, like March 10th or like somewhere between March 10th and the 15th. I'm gonna go to LA. I got something going on out there. I can't really talk about too much yet, but I will be going to LA most likely in that particular point in time. Alrighty. So, and we got more super chats. Thank y'all for donating to the cause. I most certainly appreciate it. Shout out to my man Jericho Green in the building. Jericho Green, great YouTuber, great dude. Y'all go subscribe to him if you're not subscribed already. Subscribe to my man Jericho Green, who says, Biden this, perverts this. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. 1,000%. Ellie Bill says, Bernie doesn't lie. He redistributes the truth. I like the way you did that one. Thank you for that. Shout out to Brazilian American Patriotic Soldier who says, ABL, what's up, brother? You coming to Miami next week? What's happening in Miami? I don't know about what's going on in Miami, but if I can make it out there, if somebody brings me out there, I go. Miami was great last time I went. Nice people. Just beautiful scenery. I enjoyed it. I go back. Shout out to Miami. Thank you to Rated R Gamer who says, hey, man, I really enjoy your videos. Here's some support. I thank you for that, man. I most certainly appreciate you. 100%. Thank you to Will Did It who says, make sure you get some more voters. Out of 7 people who didn't vote in 2016. Exactly. Hey, if you could recruit more voters, then go out there and do it. Tell everybody, tell a friend and tell a friend. Go out there, register to vote, and vote during the primary, general election. Vote anytime you're able to vote. Okay, whatever the situation is, just go out there and vote. I don't care if it's dog catcher, just go out there and vote. Make voting cool, make it a culture, make it a habit. Go out there and vote. It's your right, it's free, utilize it. Thank you to Brooke B for the donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to Max Dominguez who says Hispanics for Trump. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Hispanics for Trump. Shout out to Justin Gould who says, did you hear about Reddit censoring the Donald? Lots of great memes can't be shared now. They can silence us, but we'll still vote Trump. I think I had been hearing about that, but I didn't know they actually did it. So is the Donald done? The group doesn't exist anymore? Like, is it finished on Reddit? Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Ian Kenny who says, Molson Coors, we will have armed officers in the lobbies of building 66, 66A, and building 35, as well as patrolling State Street and 41st Street. Okay, well, hey, they got to have it. That was crazy what happened with that mass shooting. Now, this is pretty weird. I'm going to ask a rhetorical question because I know the answer to it. Why did the mass shooting at Coors, I think it was at Coors, if I'm not mistaken, why did the mass shooting not really get reported on too much? Why was it mentioned and then kind of drop off the radar? Why is that? Why did that happen? Do you guys know? I'd like to know. But thank you for your donation, man. Most certainly appreciate you. And thank you all for being here. You guys are great. I'm going to get to the calls in a moment. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me just fix my mouse over here. Give me the silent mouse. You got it, Miriam. He black. Ha 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 ha. He black. You got it. Yep. That's right. You know, a black shooter don't fit the narrative. You got to push the whole thing. You got to push AR-15, racist white male. The white male might not be racist at all. He could be totally the opposite of racist, but just crazy. They'll say white male, racist, AR-15, let's ban all guns. But since that ain't the case, now the story's gone from the mainstream media totally. No mention of it. Was it Miller? Okay. Yeah, he was black. Matter of fact, let me find the story right quick. Hold on. Before we get to the calls, I'm going to find the story so you guys can just see it. Allegedly. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me just double check. Because when I saw it, they said that the guy was black. But let me just make sure that I'm correct. Alrighty. Let me see. Okay. Now, I'm finding the article here, but I just got to double check. Here we go. Straight from New York Post. I like New York Post pretty well. They're a pretty good source. And you're going to be able to, Molson Coors Brewery. That's right. Okay. Yep. Now, here it is. Straight from New York Post. You see it up here. I pulled it up. I'll put a link in the chat. Milwaukee Molson Coors shooter reportedly had long-running dispute with coworker. So this is a workplace shooting. That's him right there. This is not blackface. This is not nothing. That's him. So since that's him, this story will be gone. Okay. He opened fire at Molson Coors plant in Milwaukee on Wednesday, killing 5 coworkers and himself. Was a gun-loving electrician who had been in a long-running dispute with a coworker. 51 years old, frequently argued with one of the family fatally shot victims, a fellow electrician, an employee told Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. So 2 coworkers have been accused of going to each other's offices, tampering each other's equipment or swiping tools. So they had a beef. They're messing with each other's tools, all this, that, and the third. And he goes on a shooting rampage. No media coverage. I wonder why. We see. That's a black privilege right there. I mean, people tell me that, oh, white privilege this, white privilege that. There's black privilege too. If it ain't, then I can't tell. But I digress. Let's go ahead and get to the calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Yep. Yeah, no record or nothing. He just had a beef with the coworker. And I guess he just went over the edge. I don't know what happened in his mind, but he had a beef. That's what they said, Will Redding. They said he was a gun lover. They said he was a gun-loving guy. But I've not seen any talk of this in the media. They could put the whole thing out there like, oh, well, he loved guns. Nah, that's not even. But let it have been a white guy with one person get shot and killed in the same situation, all of a sudden, it's something different. All right. Let me just get my sound straight over here. Because Skype likes to do whatever it wants with the sound. And thank you all for joining. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you don't know, this show will be available on audio streaming platforms. We're finally on Apple. We're on iTunes now. So if you search in iTunes right now, ABL Live, this show comes up. I'll upload it like 2 days later. But I'm going to try to stick to a schedule. My schedule is going to be for this particular day, Saturday, I'll upload it Monday morning. And then the Wednesday show will be up Friday morning. That'll be my schedule I try to stick to for the most part. But it's on many audio streaming platforms. It'll be on Stitcher, Google Play, Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Castbox. A lot of different platforms it'll be on. So however you want to listen to it, it'll be there absolutely free. There's a link in the box below for the Anchor link. And on that link, there should be links to the other platforms that it's on. Or you can just search for ABL Live in your particular platform and it should come right on up. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, call you on the line. Who wants to speak to 707?
Touchdown flip, man. I appreciate what you're doing, bro. I appreciate what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You got an excellent show. I love it, man. President Trump. I loved it too. I did not vote for him in 2016, but I grew to love him. You know what I'm saying? And I respect him. And I mean, in my family, there's already 5 people that didn't vote for President Trump. Just in my family, did not vote for President Trump in 2016. That is voting for him.
Wow, that's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just in my family, brother.
Right.
Just in my family. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to be able to see those close to you. And I didn't even get at them. I've been on the Trump train since 2017, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And I got dissed. I got the family. Being they got on me. But now, I mean, they getting at me with like, why they doing this against the President Trump? They were hardcore Democrats. I'm talking about I walk in their house and they got CNN on. Now they're like, they watching CNN and they talking about CNN. Like, man, they lying. It's awesome to see, man. But I just want to let you know, I appreciate what you're doing. Just in my family, we got 5 Trump supporters that's voting for him in November. I'm very hopeful that we can get the president in for another term. You know what I'm saying? And once he wins, man, I really believe that we'll see more arrests and justice brought, and things really start to change. But we got to do what we, us black folk, we got to, we the key. You know what I'm saying? And if we can get him in, man, it's going to be awesome for us, man. And, 2 or 3 years, I really see it.
100% correct. Absolutely.
But I appreciate it, man. Keep it up, ABL.
And thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Peace.
That's a great call. I love to hear it. And people are turning around. I'm trying to tell people, it's like, look, that black vote is going to go higher and higher. It was higher than Mitt Romney and McCain before that it's going to be high. They're saying like 34% in the polls. It might not go that high, but it'll be high. It'll shock people. It really will. The margin of victory for Trump will be very high, period, among blacks, whites, everybody. It's going to be high. Like I said before, I can't get it out of my mind. I'm into Chinese food. I'm talking about like you can go in there and get like a bag of rice for like $1. That kind of spot. I'm in there. Chinese dude might speak 2 words of English with a Trump hat on. I mean, this is a global phenomenon. Guys like Tom Steyer dancing to Juvenile, back that thing up, are not going to be able to combat it. Bernie talking about, I love Fidel Castro, I love food lines. Can't stop it. But let's get to the next call. 61, your line. What's speaking to?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about South Carolina. About an hour ago, I heard NPR discussing the race, and the host on the radio asks some congressman or somebody that was for Buttigieg, says, what accounts for Buttigieg not doing better in South Carolina? And they say things like, well, maybe he didn't make his case well enough and this, that, and the other thing. But the answer is obvious why he didn't do better. And I've heard you say on your program it's because black voters, especially older black voters, churchgoers, are unhappy that he's a gay candidate.
Yes.
And I find it ridiculous that these people can't even tell the truth to themselves. I want to know what your opinion is of that.
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked it because this is a thing that's like not a secret. But if anybody says it, then they find themselves in a very strange place. If they say the reality, then they get accused of not only being racist, but accusing black folks of being homophobic. And then if it's true that we're homophobic, now they want to attack us, but they can't attack their special classes of people. They got to keep everybody happy. They can't attack the blacks, or they can't attack the gays, they can't attack the Hispanics, they can't attack the women or the disabled or anybody like that. So they got to keep everybody happy. So they can't talk about the reality of a situation lest they offend a lot of different people at once. So they'll just simply lie about it or try to avoid it. If they get asked directly, they'll tap dance around it. They'll do the Matrix bullet dodge, do the limbo under a 1 foot tall, a 1 inch tall line. They'll do anything they can to avoid talking about it. But it's the reality. Even in Los Angeles, California, left coast, liberal central, there was a measure to adopt, I think it was gay marriage. Might have been in LA or something. I forget what it was. But black folks said, nope, we don't want it. This is in California, LA. So this is a thing that's common among black folks, regardless of whether you are in the left coast, the south, the north. It's a common thing that everybody knows. But they don't want to talk about that because, like I said, it would offend a lot of people at once.
There's a fellow, I won't mention his name, but he's one of those white saviors that he likes preaching to white people that they're filled with white supremacy and inherent racism. And he has quite a few followers on Twitter. I just, once in a while, I look on his Twitter feed just to see what poison he's spewing. And apparently, within the past week or so, he gave a talk at a university, and he referred to men and women. And one of the people from the audience goes to ask him a question and said, well, don't you think you're reinforcing gender binaries with a statement like that? And boy, oh boy, did he slip out on Twitter talking about, dropping some FFS references. But, I find it crazy that these people, they lie to each other, and then they love to eat each other as well. And it's right now, I know it's because Trump doesn't have a genuine competitor. No one's primarying him that's worth talking about. But the unity on the side of the Republicans and the conservatives right now is very reassuring. And the fact that these Marxist crazies and Democrats they're just, when they lie to each other, they throw off their own polls, right? Because they think, one person might be winning when he's not, and then they only find out after the election. And they're also killing each other, which is terrific for us.
That's right. To me, it's great because in that division comes the opposite side, which is more unified. Everybody's coalescing around Trump. Everybody has their eyes on their prize. We're going to go straight for it. We're going to come out in big numbers, and we're going to do the right thing. Meanwhile, they're scrambling, trying to figure out who's going to be the person, who's going to be the guy, who's not going to be the guy. How can we block this guy? How can we block that guy? And there's disarray. So for us, it works well. Now, I do feel bad for those that have to live in these particular areas, just the regular normies. They have to live and they got to deal with people like that locally. But hopefully they can dissolve and then regroup and become better. Because what's going on right now, like the lane they're traveling in can't exist forever. At a certain point, they're going to come to a crash stop.
I'd like to get your opinion of one more thing before I go. And I don't know, maybe you spoke about this already, in which case you can just go right past it. But Biden recently said that when he went to South Africa, he was arrested while trying to visit Nelson Mandela. And I just couldn't imagine a dumber statement, because that either happened or it didn't. And if it did happen, we would have heard about it a long time ago. And, he was caught in another lie or a fantasy. And I just know that if Trump or, for example, Lindsey Graham had said such a thing, they would have been destroyed. But Biden seems to skate away with something like that, and he apologized for it. But what a stupid thing to say. I think the guy is completely demented at this point.
Yeah, he's been saying plenty of things that don't make any sense. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he's running for. He doesn't know a lot. And if it were Trump saying things like this, then people would say, oh, Trump's lost it. He's demented. He's a lunatic. He needs to retire, all of this and that. Just like I was saying earlier, Trump can misspell a thing on Twitter, and it might not even be him that's typing, because he has a whole team that does social media for him. I've seen it with my own two eyes. People that take pictures, people that tweet, the whole thing. It's a whole team of people that do this. But one typo, people are going to talk about that for months. It got to the point where Google even intervened and was editing some of the search results from the misspelled term. But Biden can say, yeah, I'm running for Senate right now. Vote for me or vote for the other Biden. And it's not really a big deal. It's funny how that works.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Have a great night, a great weekend, and keep up the great work.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Sorry for the loud noise. It's not my fault. But yeah, it is, because I closed the window. I wasn't supposed to close. I made a mistake. All right, let's go ahead and fix that right quick, and we'll get back to the calls. Again, the number to call is 434. There it is, 434-658-1220. All right, there we go. All right, call you on the line, 561. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, this is Jay from South Florida. How you doing, man?
Everything's good, man. By yourself?
Doing great, man. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Since last year.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute. Everything's been going good.
Yeah, man. Everything's good. I've been been studying and working. Been busy.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Blake's in Fort Lauderdale. You coming, man?
I don't know. I might come in that. That's coming up real soon. People I know are going there, so I may come. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, because that's like 10 minutes away from me. And I was surprised when I first saw you coming to Fort Lauderdale. I said, oh my God. Candace, someone said, man, I never thought you guys would be down here. I said, wow.
Yeah, they're trying to pretty much go everywhere. So, we're really serious about what we're doing. There's going to be events all over the country. So I think that'd be a real good one.
Yeah, because ABL, everybody I talked to in Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale, I never met a black conservative before. I never seen it. Everybody around me is Democrat. So I'm just going there. Let me see who was a conservative, because I never seen one down here.
It might surprise you, because people, a lot of times, they go to these events to meet people. And, everybody's pretty much in their own little box sometimes. And they might not even know that you are right there. They think that everybody's liberal around them. You might be right there. They don't even know that you are one of them. So it'd be fun to go.
Right. ABL, read a lot of drugs. Brandon Tatum will be there. You know, I agree with Brandon Tatum with everything. There's only one thing I disagree with him. Every time I listen to him, he talks about how you know, legalize weed and all that, and for medicinal purposes. But my disagreement with weed is, for where I grew up, I know weed keep people from going forward. You know, like where I grew up, everybody would smoke weed, and no one turned out to be anything good. Even for medicinal purposes, it still holds you back because it still has a lot of side effects. That whole, like, you know, like slow reaction time, increased heart rate, paranoia, hallucination, all that stuff. So that's one thing I disagree with him about. That's everything else I agree with him, but that's one thing I don't agree with him, like to promote it as like it's normal, like, or something that's it's okay to take.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, drugs in general, for me, I'm not a fan. Like, I don't do any drugs at all. I don't even drink, because I feel like, you know, I've seen addiction, I've seen alcoholism, I've seen people die from drugs. It's not a good thing to have in society when people are just hooked on drugs. I mean, people like countries like China and whatnot, they want to have us on drugs because we can't compete when you're on drugs. If everybody's high, who's going to be the ones that are leading? Who's going to be the ones that are making the decisions and making the money?
Right. And here's the funny thing. And he also admitted that he don't like to read. And I don't, because when I was at DC with you, I don't know if you remember me, my big brother. My younger brother, who's bigger than me, but he don't like to read. And my brother likes to drink a lot of alcohol. He don't do that anymore. Brandon Tatum started doing weed at 9 years old, and both of them don't like to read. And me and you have a similar story. We like to read, and me and you don't like to drink or do drugs or smoke. So I'm correlating me and you because we read a lot. We didn't do the drugs and alcohol, while the other two didn't. They don't like to read, and you know, people who don't like to read tend to do riskier behavior.
Yeah. Now I think Brandon don't smoke weed no more. I don't think he does anything anymore.
Yeah, not anymore, but when he was younger.
Right.
Yeah. But usually, but I always know people who don't like to read tend to do a little bit more risky behavior, and people like to read, me and you, like more like just like to read a lot growing up, voracious reader and everything.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people like to read, but we don't do drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I read every day. Like I've been reading for a long time. That's why I wear glasses. I'm not just trying to be fashionable, like, because I read so much as a kid. I developed nearsightedness, so I couldn't even really see at a certain point, like beyond it, you know, like I say about a foot from my face, like to the point where it was clear, because I was reading so much, and I still read a lot. And that's how people educate themselves, aside from what people are telling you. And you go to school, you get told a certain thing, and that's it. If you stop right there, it's hard for you to really understand the world. You got to read. That's really important.
That's what I noticed too. 2/3 of American, I looked it up, it said 2/3 of American are not reading a proficiency level, because you have basic, proficiency, and below. 2/3 of American are reading proficiency level. So when you want to legalize weed, you want to add on to the problem, and it's not a good thing. And my last thing, ABL, I started Googling different schools around the country. I noticed that even where I live and everything, when I noticed that when you go to school, it tells you the national reading average of that school, like the Department of Education or bestschools.org or something like that. I noticed that with schools predominantly black demographics, it correlates to low grades. And I was telling my friend, I said, no, that's not true. You know, I know a lot of people doing well, yeah, but on a national average, or for that particular school, when the race is predominantly black, the grades tend to be low. They're low in reading, low in language arts, low in science, low in math. Even when it's majority Hispanic, it's the same thing. But I think blacks are a little more lower. When the school majority white, the grades are like A and B, or they get like an 8 out of 10. So I was telling my friend, when she sent her child to a school, Google the school and look at the curriculum on are they performing at below average. And if you send your child there, you're more likely your child may follow the rest of them and may not go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, it's a reason for that gap. Like you were talking about the reading, a lot of black families think that it's normal to not have your kid read at all until they go to school. But it's not normal. I mean, I was reading before I got to school. Like, I'm, 3-4 years old. I can write my name. I can count to like 100. I can color within the lines. I can do, like, I have my skills needed before I went to school. So I'm already ahead of everybody. I'm getting straight A's with no effort because I'm already ahead because of what I learned at home. It was like school for me was effortless because I already knew everything. I knew how to do everything. They're just starting to learn. So yeah, that explains the gap right there. And then if you are a kid that's around that, you're not being challenged. Like me, I wasn't really challenged. That's why I had to read so much, or part of why I love reading so much is because I was not getting challenged at school at all. But when I got into the reading, I was able to challenge myself to read at a higher level and a higher level and a higher level. Going to school was just for me, just having fun and playing. When I got home, it's when I actually learned more by reading.
Right. So the schools you went to, the elementary, middle school, and high school, you ever Google them and see if they're a poor performing school or above performing, or you ever looked that up before?
Well, I went to a few schools, and they're all pretty much it's like low performing. Like I went to mostly black schools, and it was
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it was a big gap between the black kids and the white kids. Like right. I think the black kids are like a 16% reading proficiency in my elementary school, but the white kids like an 85% in the same school. Like you're talking about the same teachers, so it's like it's because the white kids come to school already knowing how to read because they were taught at home by their mom, but the black kids can't read at all when they get to the 6th grade.
And that's all the time I tell my friend. She said, all the friends are Democrat. They hate because they think I'm anti-black. I say, yeah, that's true. The reason why your daughter's struggling, when she get home, she's out there on her phone and watching TV. You should be reading with her and everything. She the only time she reads is in classroom. That's not good. And then when she grow up, she's gonna blame racism and all these things to hold her back. And I said, no, she didn't start from early. But when you Google it and then when you show them the statistics of that, they get upset. So, like I said, I'm surprised. I'm glad they have that on the computer where I can see the grades of that school, and you can pick and choose which schools are good and which aren't bad. And my school was an F school, and my middle school was an I school. I means incomplete. They didn't get no grade. I mean, we were so bad, but I was one of the few that made it out. Everybody else right now, I don't know where they are. They're probably doing poorly. But
right.
All right, ABL, man. Well, if you come down to Fort Lauderdale, man, I guess I'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call from my man, Jay from South Florida. Excellent call. And thank you all for being here. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. And let's go ahead and get to the next call. Thank you to Joyce for the donation with the thank you emoji. Thank you right back, and I appreciate you. Let's go 240. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's your boy JB. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Everything's everything.
All right.
How's everything going with you, brother, man? Good show today, man. You got some real good calls calling, early callers. That's what I'm talking about. We need that. And I was arguing with somebody how this is how ignorant black people are. They're trying to say that Kobe was assassinated. That Kobe was assassinated, and it's a grand conspiracy because they're trying to kill our black leaders all this year. First of all, Kobe wasn't a black leader. He was a sports icon. That's all he was. Am I lying, ABL?
I mean, you're not lying. You're 100% correct. I mean, at a certain point, all these conspiracies don't even make no sense. It's like, what's the point of killing Kobe Bryant? I mean, I don't understand. The things that he had done and things that he were going to do were not like reinventing the wheel. He was doing good with his life. Don't get it wrong, but it's not like Elon Musk, you create a new technology. That's not what was going on. So it doesn't even make any sense.
That's why I say it's ignorant heck, and then you got the people going around saying that you don't got to pay taxes, and I got these black Israelites talking about my job, so that you don't have to pay taxes, and a state's a country, and I'm like, oh God, just shut up, just shut up.
It's like, you know what? If they don't want to pay taxes, then go for it. But I'm paying my taxes. I ain't trying to have the IRS at my door, going on my bank account and taking no money. I'm good. I'm paying my taxes. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And if I don't want to pay taxes, I'll go somewhere else where I don't got to pay taxes. It's very simple.
Exactly. Move to Canada.
That's it. Well, you pay more over there. You might get beat in the head more over up there. You might have go some abandoned island somewhere to not pay any taxes.
Exactly. I was trying to explain to them, like, well, you just sell out and all this stuff. Then they try to say Dante Wilder fell in the fight to a white guy was racist. I said, no, he's got beat up. Dante Wilder got beat. He's not a good fighter. It's not. I'm sick of people always saying racism to everything. So black people, you better stop calling racism. It's losing its meaning. Am I right, ABL?
Yeah, you're right. Deontay Wilder just got beat. The race thing has nothing to do with it. I mean, first of all, he's 215 pounds. Like, I'm 215. I'm 6'3". He's 215 and 6'7". So he's skinny for heavyweight. Tyson Fury came in there 270 pounds. I mean, that's a really big difference. And then when you're getting hit like that and you have no legs, I mean, you can't. He lost the first time, really. But this time he actually got soundly beat. He got beat like he stole something, and that's his fault. He got to just do better, gain some weight, and become a good boxer rather than just having that heavy right hand. That right hand can't save him when you can't land it. When you're making them awkward head movements and you can't even touch him. He's like a giant Floyd Mayweather as far as not getting hit. That's why you got beat.
Exactly. As I'm saying, if he was smart, I'd have wore him down. But I digress, brother. It's just I'm getting sick of everything's racist. Okay. Like, they're trying to say, like, now the big thing is Donald Trump, he paid his way out of impeachment. Like, no, they didn't have anything on him. You know what I'm saying? And then they're trying to downgrade it. And I'm sick of it's Obama's economy. No, it's not. Okay, you want to say that, then technically it was Obama's economy, then it was technically Bush's economy first that got him here. If you want to go, no, that's not true. I say that's how it goes. Like, you can't have it both ways. You just can't have it both ways.
You can't.
Am I lying?
Yeah, because the thing about people like people that want to say that Trump does not get credit for the economy will blame him when things are going bad. You can't have both ways. You can't say that, it's not Trump that has caused a good economy, but it is Trump that caused when it has a bad economy. That's not how that goes. You got to give him credit for what's happening right now.
Exactly. So then you can say he's doing something bad. You can't have both ways.
That's right.
You can't have it both ways. And then another thing is another people arguing saying that the Republicans are right and crazy. I said, well, the Bernie Sanders people kill them. They said, only happened one time. That's one time too many. I said, they won't. This is how sick people are. They won't even announce violence on both sides. I said, we don't even announce either side. I said, I don't fault Bernie Sanders followers for what they do. They do something crazy and radical. That's what the crazy person did. It's not Bernie Sanders. Well, Trump's crazy. I said, listen to what I'm telling you. This is how deranged people are. They don't understand They don't understand that what someone does, even though they support me, that's not me doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But you get what I'm saying? But they wanted to announce that, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. And this is the world's coming to. People are freaking nut jobs now. Don't you think so?
I'm with you.
And it saddens me that so many black people are so lost, and they don't understand that your vote don't mean nothing no more. Your vote means nothing anymore. The black vote means nothing to the Democrats. You know what I'm saying?
No, they take it for granted. They don't care.
Yeah, they take it totally for granted. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to explain to them. I said, look, why would they do something when they know they got our vote already? Why would they help us? Why would they benefit us? Why would they do anything? They said, it's better than a Trump vote. I said, well, Trump's going to work with us. Democrats. How many times you know a black man sit down with a Democratic leadership, an ordinary person? Nobody. Crickets.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Before I go though, are you getting divisions? The new maps coming out.
I saw that. I might have to get them. I'm gonna see how they look, and I might have to scoop them up.
You know what? I wish I would have waited to get the game because only $5, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. You see the ABL?
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
$5. I'm like, $5. Isn't it heartbreaking though if you just waited?
Hey, that's how it is though. You gotta, if you wanna, wait till later, you can get it for cheap. That's how it be.
Yeah, man, keep the good work up, brother, man. Hey, brother, one of a kind, brother, man. Keep the good work up, and you gonna do some big things next week. You need to run for a seat, brother. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you, you need to run for a damn seat. That's all I'm saying, brother. Have a nice one.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Peace.
All right. Thanks to my man Jay Beauty for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Tom Steyer dropped out of the race. You know, I know you guys are heartbroken that Tom Steyer left. I know you guys are just really lost without Tom Steyer, but he's gone. This is on NPR. Now, you guys saw Tom Steyer have his little dance party with Juvenile talking about back that thing up. Not lying, dead serious. I played it earlier in the stream. So I don't know why. I mean, I know why you're dropping out. I mean, there's no way forward. You know, Joe Biden won South Carolina in convincing fashion as far as what I'm seeing right now. So there's no purpose in Tom Steyer being here anymore. Might as well go ahead and drop out right now. I mean, you're not going to win. And matter of fact, you could take Edge with you for sure. I want to see where Edge finishes up in South Carolina. He might be dead last. That'd be funny. And who else? Klobuchar can drop out. Pocahontas can drop out. It's really between Biden and Bernie, and it's really just Bernie. Matter of fact, I take that back. Pocahontas might still kind of be in play. It might be Bernie, Pocahontas, and then Biden. But all these other guys can go ahead and drop out right now. All right, so he's out. And let's get to the next call. 818 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Marina from Los Angeles, California. How are you?
Oh, well, how about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. I'd like to say hello to everybody on the line.
All righty.
And also, I'm the parent of the little boy that called you, the little scared little 10-year-old that called you last week.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, I told him, like, hey, why didn't you just talk to him? He's like, I got scared. But anyhow, ABL, let me tell you, I am so excited, man, because I am for the first time in my life a Republican voter. I just voted today in the California early elections, and my entire husband and 21-year-old and I went with my younger son, and the three of us over 18, over the voting age, voted for the first time ever in our lives as Republicans, and we voted for Trump.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm glad to see that happen for sure. That's excellent.
Man, I'm telling you, one of the most difficult things in the world is to come out in California to your friends on Facebook as a non-Democrat.
Oh, I can imagine, like, being in L.A. too. I mean, how's that experience been?
Oh, man. Let me tell you, ABL, I got this little red hat. I got my fake, what I call my fake MAGA hat. It says, made you look again.
Right.
And I probably I rock it everywhere I go just because. And I get so many bad looks at first, and I get people talking behind my back about it. And then when I forget that I have it on, all of a sudden people come up and they start laughing. And they're like, oh, my God, I love your hat. I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't say to them either way what I am or don't, who I support or don't. But then all of a sudden they're like, hey, are you for Trump? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, me too, but I don't like telling anybody. Yeah, right? And then we get into these conversations. I've had, people come up to me at the Boys and Girls Club, my son's Boys and Girls Club, and I can't tell you how many people come up to me, and they're like, yeah, me too, but, on the down low.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and they're all like they're either I've had African American, Hispanics, Asians, but mostly Latinos because I'm Mexican American, but you know what I mean.
Right.
But I've had mostly the Latinos come up to me because, they identify. So they come up to me and they're all like, hey, we're going to do it. I'm like, heck yeah, man, we got to do it. And so I don't know how my vote counts in California because it's kind of like, I don't understand if it just goes to waste or not. I really don't get, if it's, whatever. But the thing is, I don't care. If it's going to go to the, if it's just going to automatically go into the Democratic voting thing, I refuse to do that anymore. You know what I mean? I refuse to. So, and another thing, too, I wanted to bring up, ABL, on my Facebook, I've been looking at my Bernie buddies' chats and such just to see what they're, talking about.
You mean Bernie Sanders?
Oh yeah, the Burning Bros.
Okay.
On my Facebook, my friends, who are Burning Bros, right? And I go on their website, their chats and such, and I read their streams. They're talking about, hey guys, we got to really take advantage of this this virus to mobilize, for the Medicare for all, to push it, and to like really get it in there. So we got to really take advantage of of the virus to push it right now, and they're talking about pushing Medicare for all because of the virus. They're talking about the crash of the market and taking advantage of that to push their agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty
and I'm
sick.
like, you guys are freaking disgusting.
Yeah.
And these are people that have called me. They've called me all these bad names. I've been called racist. I mean, I've grown up in South Central, man. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like if you grew up in South Central all your life, and you're any kind of racist, and you're a Mexican, and you know what I mean? It's like, it is the stupidest thing.
Right.
But here I am getting called that. And then these people, I go into their websites, and they're talking about, yeah, man, we got to take advantage of this. We got to, like, really do this, push and this and this. I'm like, you guys are disgusting, man. Everyone's talking about mobilizing, the virus, to push their views on people. It's like, what's this about?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm with you though, but I get the same thing. I've been called a white supremacist. It's like, wow, really? Me?
Well, you look like a Nazi to me. If I've ever seen a Nazi, that's kind of why I started watching you though, because I saw you and I'm like, what's up with that little skinhead right there? I'm getting ready to throw some anarchy in the UK with the Sex Pistols on you because I knew you were like some punk rock skinhead.
That's right. But yeah, I mean, these people are wild though. I mean, they say some crazy things, and at a certain point, people are starting to wake up and they see it. It's like, okay, this is ridiculous. I don't want to be over here anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and leave and do something else.
Yeah, all the people that have come up to me on the down low, they've all said the exact same thing that I walked away because of. They said, you know what? These people are crazy now. That the Democrats are freaking, they're crazy. What's going on? Why are they so nasty? And why is everybody being so rude? And how come people can't just talk anymore? How come people got to be scared? And I'm like, because it's the new wave. It's, you know what I mean? It's not the Democratic Party that we grew up with. It's not.
That's right.
And like I said in the past, it's Reagan that said, I didn't leave the Democratic Party left me, but I've always said that too many times. But that's the thing, man. They're not the same people that that we grew up with. They're not.
Right.
And oh my God, did you see that ad about that picture that they posted of Bernie getting on the wrong private jet?
Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious because this is a guy to talk about no more billionaires, all this, that, and the third. It's like, man, I don't know which jet is mine. I don't even know what's going on. It's like, come on, man, get it together.
Hey, you know what I posted when I saw that picture? I posted what happened then with the squad from the Green New Deal on the other private jet. You know what I mean? Because they're such good, excellent, examples to what people should be doing.
Right.
I'm picturing AOC's bulging eyeballs with her donkey mouth. Sorry. But anyhow, ABL, I'm not going to take anybody else's time. I know people want to get on. I love your show, man. My son, that's why he called, because he loves listening to you in the background. We don't let him listen to everything that everybody's talking about, but he hears it, and we explain to him, in little terms, and he got so excited. He's like, I want to call. I'm like, go for it, dude. Go for it. But man, we just love you. My husband, my son, and I, we just love you, and it would be amazing. I know you're coming in Los Angeles, but hey, later on, let people know if there's something that people can go see you at. We would be the first ones in line to see you.
Oh, definitely. I'll do that for sure.
Absolutely. Love you, man. God bless everybody. And hey, Go vote. No matter what, get your votes out there, guys. No matter what. All this talking that we've all been doing for all this time, it's got to mean something. We got to do something, and regardless of what we think of our vote or not, we got to do it for ourselves.
That's right. 100% correct. Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Love you guys. Good night, guys.
All right. Great call. Excellent call. Shout out to her. And yeah, I will be in LA. I'm going to film something. And I think that'll be like, the 10th, in between the 10th and the 15th. Not the whole time, but somewhere in that particular period. I'll be out there in March. So I will be in LA pretty soon. Or I think I'll be in LA pretty soon. All right. Let me get to the next call here. And let's go. Hold on 1 second. 214, you're in line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, what's up, man? This is Tari, bro.
What's going on, man? Everything's good.
Hey, not much, man. I want to talk about that video you made when you had, it was like Angela Rye and that fake Never Trumper conservative. You know those. What was the name? Tara Setmeyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's CNN, and you know what's very interesting about that video is how CNN does segments on black conservative Trump supporters who support Trump. You know, and then they kind of like minimize it, saying, you know, the only few black people that like him, and try to make black voters look crazy. You know, who support Trump. And what's interesting that, you know, liberals, what they do is that they send a Negro liberal army out. You know what I'm saying? Because the white liberal, you know, they coddle black people like kids. So they're never going to come out and say what they truly feel. But, you know, they get these Negro liberals to come out. And it's kind of embarrassing because it doesn't make us look like we're independent. You know, it kind of makes it look like we're just loyal to one party. And if black people who don't support the Democrats were just some offshoot weirdos. You know, and that's, to me, in itself, that could be seen as racist, man, because I don't know, man. I think these liberals have the white liberal behind the scenes, they have a very ignorant view of black people, man. And I think it's a very racist view as far as they pity us. I don't think they think we can think for ourselves. I don't think they think we're intelligent. I think that they always have to lead us by the nose. But when you contrast this, that video with, Tom Steyer dancing with Juvenile, man, that has been the most embarrassing thing I've ever saw. But not only that, it just shows this is how the Democrats view black people. You know, go to them, play games, have some celebrity come, and we're just dancing and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? It's not about policy. It's just dancing, joking around, having a good time. And what's interesting is why didn't CNN do a segment about that? Why didn't they say, look, why are presidential candidates for the Democrat Party, instead of talking about how they can help the black community, they're dancing to back that thing up by Juvenile. And you know Tom Steyer doesn't listen to that music, man. You know he doesn't listen to that music. He wasn't even like, if you saw he was dancing and the little lady behind him, it was embarrassing. And you know, I'm thinking, like, you know, is the black community going to speak up on this as a whole? Like, why are you disrespecting us, thinking that you can get our vote by dancing? No. You don't hear a word. In fact, some probably think it's cool. Some probably laugh and say, oh, man, he just like us. He can dance, man. But look at the contrast, though, ABL. Like, I've even Googled this. I've Googled Tom Steyer Juvenile, and I was looking for a liberal article from a black person saying, yo, like, this is very disrespectful. You see that nowhere. I even saw it CNN, I forget the lady's name, it's a white lady. She interviewed Tom Steyer. She was like, oh, looks like you're having fun out there. It's just a joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know, this is why you can see the liberals don't like it when black people fall off course. That's why as soon as we visit Trump, as soon as black folks don't do what they do, they like sound their alarms, because they're like, look at these runaway slaves. You know what I'm saying? It's seriously, it's like a plantation. We got to discipline them. We got to malign them. We got to make them look like they're unemployed, you know, unimportant, because they're not following a line on how we want. And then when you get black folks that do, you know, it's a complete double standard. You know, they praise them, you know, they give them a high five, they give them airtime on TV. But yeah, man, like, let me ask you, what did you think about that when you saw Tom Steyer dancing to back that thing up?
I mean, I just cringed right away. It was embarrassing. And I'm like, okay, this is what you got to do to get the black vote, really? You know, I think back to when Roland Martin was dancing on stage with Hillary Clinton. You know, it was the same thing to me. It's like, is this all that we are? We not intellectual people. We can just see somebody dancing and then that's enough.
That's what I'm talking about. It's the perception.
Yeah.
And, you know, I notice when conservatives are dealing with politicians, when white conservatives are dealing with the black community, I don't see them having 50 Cent coming out there rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't see them popping bottles and drinking syrup. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about policy. But those black people are called coons for listening to them. That's insane. But the other way around, it's dancing and having a good time. And yes, you're right. This is why, and I talk about this all the time on Facebook, this is why our community is not taken seriously, because it's this sheer double standard. White liberals understand that all you got to do is play around with the black community and you will win their vote. And then when the conservative tries, when the white conservative tries, listen, I'm not here to play games. I have policy for you. Talk to me. Let's work together. Meet me at my office. We call them coons and turn away. So this is the problem that black people are facing right now. And that's pretty much all I want to say, man.
And thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care, man.
All right, my man Tariq with a great call. Yeah, that whole thing with Tom Steyer, totally embarrassing. But that's all they do. Every single time. When it's time to vote, like when it's not time to vote, you don't see Democrats at all, especially in the black community. You don't see them at all. When it comes time to vote, let's go out there and dance. Let's go out there and dance and whatnot to some random rap music from the 90s. It's like, what are we doing? Like, come out to talk about policy. When I go to these Brexit events, you know, it's a cool environment. People can fellowship with each other, and people get on stage and they talk about things that are actually happening, policy. And I've never seen nobody just, you know, break out and start dancing to some music from the 90s with a random rapper. I never seen that before at a conservative event. You know, that's not what we need. We need to have it be a nice environment, cool environment where we talk about some real things that are going on. That's what we want. That's what we need. Shout out to the super chatter. Shout out to Edward Mason, who says, RIP Tom Steyer's campaign. # drop that thing out. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Jay's Danger Room, who says marijuana cause increased heart rate, hallucination, paranoia, slow reaction time, cough, bloodshot eyes, bad breath, discoloration of teeth. How is this a good thing? Hey, your guess is as good as mine, man. But thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to my man Sushi, who says the news said that 38% of the people that attended the Trump rally in South Carolina were Democrats and independents. I know all the Bernie bros are mad that Biden won in South Carolina. Heart emoji to everyone in the chat tonight. Hey, thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. And I did not know that about the Trump rally. That's a big number. 38% Democrats and independents. Humongous. That's fantastic. But thank you for that, man. Thank you to Ellie Bell, who says, imagine if Trump talked about hot sauce and danced. Exactly. Like I was saying earlier, you misspell something on Twitter, it becomes a thing to where Google gets involved to alter search results. But you could be Hillary Clinton and have hot sauce in your bag. It's not a big deal. Thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. Let me get to the next call. All righty, Romer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All righty, what's going on?
Not much. Just been listening to the news, especially with what's going on with coronavirus. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's being reported in a way to, in my humble opinion, kind of induce fear and panic.
Absolutely.
When that should not be the way that it's reported at all.
Yeah, here's what's been bothering me. Like the way that the Democratic Party has been reporting this is kind of the exact opposite of how the Chinese government should have been reporting in their own country, because they were keeping it under wraps until a larger population was affected. But then when it came to the U.S., they started reporting them in sanctuary cities where they knew there would be no medical care.
Right. Okay.
So I'm just wondering, like, they don't realize that, it kind of surprises me, like, how the people in these sanctuary cities, how they're still not able to understand, like, with this panic, that this panic will actually kill more people than the coronavirus itself. And I'm like, why isn't there being any order done in these cities?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, because like with Canada, like so far Canada has had about 15 people infected, and there have been, like, restrictions with Air Canada flights up until February 29th. But then with the US, they're already quarantining people like in the other cities, but they're doing it in a more ordered fashion. So I'm like, with the Democratic Party trying to politicize everything, you just can't help but wonder, like, like how long it'll take before it backfires really badly on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much see that coming up soon here. I don't think it will take long.
No, that's the thing. Like I've been reading up through a YouTuber named, I don't know if you've heard of a YouTuber doctor named John Campbell. Does that ring a name to you?
No.
Yeah, this guy is from England, and he actually has been reporting a lot on the coronavirus. He does like videos. He has to sort of do it under wraps so that he doesn't get demonetized. But he has like well over 360,000 followers as of January. So he's building up really fast. The problem is, he reports on things that the mainstream media refuses to report, and just kind of makes you wonder, how far are people willing to go in terms of not listening until it's too late.
Right. Yeah.
We have England going on, like well, all half of Europe infected. It's only a matter of time before all of South America is infected. With Brazil going on, the same place where the Zika virus took place. First thing that came to mind is, a mixture of a mutation between Zika and Corona, which is pretty much a death sentence.
Oh man, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, especially for the pregnant women, massive death sentence. And then what else going on with the SARS and coronavirus, SARS being a coronavirus and then Zika being a coronavirus? You've probably heard that being infected a second time actually worsens your immunity. You have no antibodies that are created when you get infected a second time.
So could this be a situation where like you have one disease floating around, and then there's another one that comes in and infects you? It just kind of increases the effect, therefore heightening the mortality rate?
That depends on what kind of virus it is. If it's like an RNA, so since coronavirus is this coronavirus, the COVID-19 is an RNA virus. This will affect a single strand of DNA, but the problem is it also has a strand. It also works in the same ways that HIV does. That's why, like, there are several. You probably know that there are several strands of HIV in terms of replication that could also affect the way that genetic materials is made in your body. So that way, that could definitely affect your immunity. Now, if you mix that with, like, say, a DNA virus, both strands will be affected. So that way, your body will not be able to compensate for immunity at all.
Okay.
And that's actually worse, like for elderly people, because when it comes to replication, their ability to replicate certain genetic material is much more limited because they have less of a protein which allows that to occur.
Right.
It's very, that's why it's very dangerous for the elderly, and especially those who have chronic conditions, medical conditions as well, like asthma and stuff. Because when you have more coughing going on, when you have severe asthma, you're unable to cough, and that just weakens you. Like, you have literally no chance of dying. It's very, very scary stuff if precautions are not taken properly.
Got you.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to see, like, what how Trump is able to handle it. I mean, he's handling it by, not trying to raise panic, which is the right thing. But there's only so much panic that you're able to handle before everything goes haywire. I mean, I don't know what the situation is going on in Virginia, but Oregon and Washington, like those ones, they're going to get hit very, very hard. And of course California.
Now, do you think that it would get totally out of control to the point where you have more deaths than the flu?
In the cases of the sanctuary cities, I think indirectly there's going to be more deaths because more people are going to be panicking when they're going to grocery stores just to get masks and gloves, hand sanitizers, and especially canned foods. I mean, this is something that Styx Hexenhammer 666 has been telling people, like, on his videos, like, you got stock up on foods right now, so that way if there is a panic, like what's going on in the sanctuary cities, nobody's trying to beat each other up over some select foods. So I think that there will be deaths, not necessarily because of coronavirus, but more so because of the fear that the coronavirus is trying to spread onto people.
I got you. That makes sense. But hey, man, I got a lot of calls online, so I'm going to get to a few more.
Yeah, no problem. Just wanted to let you know about that. So thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine by and large. There may be some panic because of, lack of supplies. That might be the main thing, lack of supplies, because of the trade being disrupted and people panicking. But no sense in panicking because it's like, what are you going to do? Like most people are not prepared anyway. Like, you can't get prepared now. If you're not prepared in general, then it's too late. It's too late to try to get prepared now. You're beyond the time to try and get prepared. All right, call you on the line. So 7, someone speaking to.
Yeah, it is Evan, man.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's wrong with our president? He keep misleading people now with the coronavirus.
Okay, so what did he do now?
Well, he said, you remember, it was a tweet that he sent that the coronavirus will disappear when in higher temperatures, in warmer weather. According to the CDC, they can't confirm that, but that's what he tweeted. So that's why the media is going after him, because he keeps misleading. He keeps with his either lie or misleading. Second, he said that we're close to a vaccine. We're doing the vaccine rapidly. There's no evidence that we're having a vaccine rapidly. We don't even have a trial yet. So where is he getting the information? I'm just wondering where this guy, in a moment of a crisis. Well, we don't have a crisis, but we don't even know yet because we don't know how many people are infected. You remember the person that died doesn't even know how he got infected. So why he keeps saying these things that lead that because you're the President of the United States. I mean, the President of the United States says something, is his statement been taken as a fact from the World Organization and from the CDC. So the CDC contradicts what he said. Why he keep lying? Do you know why he keep lying? Why he keep misleading?
Now, as far as the vaccine, in a press conference today, one of the disease experts said they have a trial right now in human patients right now today. That was in the press conference from one of the disease. Wait. Mm-hmm. Not Trump, but from one of the experts. They said that today. So when you're talking about a vaccine being in the works, that's how you get a vaccine right there. You put
we're working in a vaccine. They don't have a trial yet. That's what they said.
But they have the trial in human patients right now, like now today. So what he said was true.
Right. No, it was not true. Because that was I'm talking about the Tuesday, the Wednesday press conference. That's why they say all these things. That the warm weather will get rid of the virus.
So now, all right, so I was just talking about not the warm weather thing. I was talking about the whole vaccine thing. So I just said that that's true. So what you said was false. Now, as far as now, as far as the whole thing about the April, let me just read this verbatim so Tamika can just talk about it. This is what it says. Now, the virus we're talking about having to do, a lot of people think that it goes away in April with the heat. As the heat comes in, typically that will go away in April. We're in great shape, though. We have 12 cases, 11 cases, and many of them are in good shape now. That was February 10th. Now, did he say that the virus will go away in April? In that?
He said that in a tweet.
Sir, the question, I'm reading it right now. Did he say it's going to go away?
He said there was one weather. China, we don't have to worry because in one weather, the disease will go away. No evidence. Look, everything that he said contradicts what the people from the CDC said. Everything. That's what they're all over him. Not because the media. Yes, the media was going to pump up on you. That's the job of it. You want to take the job as a president, you got to be ready to take a beat. You got to be ready to take a beat because the media was going to attack you. Attack Bush Senior, attack Reagan, attack Obama. All they want to attack you. That's the media. That's their. But also, he creates his own problem when he say things that are not true. He say, well, I'm not sure, or then he says something that is not truthful. Then the media come and hit him hard. Like, for example, let me give you an example. He said that the reason that the stock market dropped 1,100 points was because the debate on Tuesday night about the Democrat, what they were saying. And the reason that they're up 1,100 points, I think it was 1,000 points and then 1,123 points, it was because the coronavirus, because what happened in China. So that's one of the reasons.
Hold on, wait. So you're saying that the stock market's not going down because of the coronavirus?
It's because of the coronavirus.
Okay, so what are you talking about then?
Well, that's not what he said. He said because the Democrats were talking nonsense in the stage on Tuesday debate. First of all, the debate was on Tuesday night, right, at 9 p.m. The stock market closed at 5. You're talking about Monday and Tuesday. That means the market was already closed. The Dow Jones already dropped over 1,100 points. So why is saying when the debate was on
look, you don't understand what's going on. The Democrats on stage were saying certain things that they already had been saying. They were, sir, I'm not finished talking. I'm gonna mute you. Now, the Democrats were saying things on stage that they had already been saying about the virus, inducing panic, which is causing, in part, the stock market to crash because people are selling off due to the coronavirus. People are saying, oh, man, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue. When you have a big platform like that, if you're the media and if you're the Democrats on the stage, you are not helping. You're further inducing panic, therefore causing the sell-off. So that was why he said what he said, and he's right. Go ahead.
That's not true. That's not true. It's because the problem, a lot of manufacturing companies been closed in China due to the virus. So the production for different products and servicing companies that they have companies in different parts of the world, the production has been going down. That's one of the reasons. So a lot of shareholders. So
it's one of the reasons, not the only reason. It's one of the reasons, right? You just said it. So that's not the only reason. No. You just said. I'll beat you. You just said it was one of the reasons. Now you're saying it's a major reason when I call you out on it. You said it right at first. Don't lie. Just say it was one of the reasons. Another reason is what I just said about people inducing panic. It's not just it ain't just one factor to it. There's many factors to the whole situation.
I know you got to defend President Trump. It's funny. I know you got to do that. I know you got to do your job. But that's not the truth. The truth is because imports in China is way down. Production is way down. What's going on with the virus? A lot of plants being closed. If plants are being closed, that means that companies cannot sell their products, right? And how shareholders invest? Tell me how shareholders invest. Do you know?
What do you mean? How do they invest?
How they look in invest in the production and sale of a company. That's how the evaluation of the stock or the price of a stock. So that means if there's no production, that means.
Sir, you already said that it was one of the reasons, not the only reason. So don't try to fix it now.
The main reason.
You said it was one. Now you're trying to say it was the main. Just pick a story and stick to it. Pick a story and stick to it, sir.
I'm not defending the Democrat, but it's not true what he says. It has nothing to do with the Democrats. It's all garbage. It's because with the fear in China, in Asia, a lot of the production comes from Asia.
One of the reasons is because of the panic as well as the lack in production. It's simple. It's not a hard thing to understand.
That has nothing to do with the Democrats. It has nothing to do with the Democrats.
So people that have a high platform, they get on TV and they say certain, I'm talking, you're going to mute. So when Democrats, they get on stage, have a high platform, they're saying these things, same thing with the mainstream media. There's nothing to do with it. Ain't nobody looking at that. These debates aren't getting millions upon millions of views all over the country and all over the world. not just the debates, but also when they go out there and they speak and they say certain things to the press, these things have an impact all around the world. It matters. So when you say stuff like that, people listen and then they may take action as a result. That ain't the only reason why the stock market is plunging. That's one of the reasons why, and Trump was correct. It's an obvious thing.
So the debate is in Tuesday night. You're gonna have an impact on the.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You just focused on you focused on just saying what you want to say and not listening to what anybody else is saying. So on that note, have a good night, sir. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, you gotta have your eyes open and your ears open to listen. He's saying, "Oh well, the debate was Tuesday. How could the debate shape the response to the virus on the stock market?" It ain't just about the debate. It's about what they were saying in the debate that had been said by them outside of the debate. They were saying some of the same things they'd been saying on stage at the debate previously. Like, learn how to listen and learn how to read, sir. But let's get to the next call. 212, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes.
Anthony, can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Yes, I haven't talked with you in a very long time. I have a lot to say. First of all, I need to know where Blacks for Trump, the contact person here in New York City. Okay? So I don't know who the contact person is. I've been Googling in. So if you can send that information to me, please do. All right, let me start to talk. I'm now a registered independent. A number of people have told me I need to do a YouTube channel. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start to go live on my Facebook page. And I will be calling out every single one of the racist, misogynistic, xenophobic Democrats that are running. And I have the receipts, and I've done the work. That's what we have to do. Because if we don't do that and get particularly to these baby boomers, and I am a baby boomer, second generation native Californian. California is probably the most racist state in this country, and I know it. All my cousins, except 3, an aunt and uncle, and my father, who was born in Texas, are the only family members that were not raised in California. And my dad was raised in California as well. The family migrated from Texas when he was 2. Quite a few celebrities. I grew up in South Central, Compton, and Watts, and then in my junior year, went to Inglewood High School, which was predominantly white then. It was just about white then. Okay, I went to school with Reggie Theus. My brother played pro ball. I will not share that information here. He played in Italy and in 2 teams in the United States, and I will be setting the record straight on his life and doing a documentary. Jerry West is married to Karen Bowie, who was our head cheerleader at Inglewood High. She was a senior when I was a junior. I was taught by Tommy Hawkins, former Laker player. I took his class in the exploitation of the athlete and the psychology of the black athlete at Cal State University in Long Beach. I got my master's from Pepperdine, and I did get a fellowship to USC, okay, and graduated with honors. South Central was home. So I remember when there were places you could not go in California. You didn't go to Bakersfield. You didn't go to Orange County unless you were going to Disneyland, Lion Country's Fasari, and Knott's Berry Farm. You just didn't go there. Matter of fact, you didn't even cross Crenshaw Drive because the Klan were heavy in Inglewood. That's why I say California is a very racist state, and we need to call that state out and educate people. You cannot educate black folks, giving them the information they can see, and it is out there. Know all about Kobe, know all about the L.A. Lakers, because as a kid we sat there and watched the Lakers, and UCLA, going back to when I was a little girl. As I said, certain places you just didn't go. You didn't live in Riverside. You didn't live in Laguna Beach, Palos Verdes. Matter of fact, you didn't even go this place. You didn't even go to, what is that? Huntington Park, Downey, Linwood. Okay, so things have changed, but California is very racist. When I was home in 2014, and I stayed with my girlfriend in Compton because I did grow up in Compton, and I was there for my high school reunion. It was a mess. My Mexican-American friends are mad about these open borders. It has nothing to do with being against Mexicans. South America is a mess. The borders do not need to be open. The president is correct on that. Now, my problem with the president, and I'm now a registered independent, and I will be calling out Bernie Sanders because I worked on his campaign. I know Cornell. I know Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is a damn fool. She'll never win as a Democrat. You know, when somebody pees and S's on you, it's time to move on. She'd do better to become a true independent or a Republican. And I do believe the president had offered her a position. She should have taken it. Bernie pimped us for 24 big ones, then sold us out to Hillary. He did not have to do that. You live and you learn. He is a Marxist. I majored in sociology. I know all about the Russian Revolution, and we do not want that in this country. There are people we need to fear. Oprah Winfrey is one of them. Not because of Harvey Weinstein, because Harvey Weinstein is so far down the chain. It's the big people she's involved in. We're talking about Bilderberg. President Trump did not attend Bilderberg. He sent a representative. Obama was there. Hillary was there. George Bush was there. What people don't know is that Obama has known George Bush since he was a little boy because of his stepfather. He's one of the richest people in the world. That's all documented. You can look it up. So we've got to give the real receipts, and that's how I'm going to use my Facebook page. Another thing, it is time for President Trump, and by the way, I have signed up to work on his campaign here in New York City. Also, we need a town hall in New York with black folks here in New York City. So I'm working on that. I'm working on finding the first black American female Supreme Court justice. That's who I want to see replace Ruth Ginsburg. Not a liberal, a constitutionalist. I want us to start sending emails to the president regarding Bernell Donald Gill, who was his strongest advocate, who was a Bernie supporter like me. I want to know why she did not get a position, and I would like the president to reach out to her for his next administration. He does need a few more black people, but qualified black American cabinet members. He is draining the swamp. I support the First Lady. She's a class act. The president doesn't talk enough about the other things he's doing for black Americans, because I watched the State of the Union. I rushed home from Washington, D.C. I was there to support Dr. Randy Short. Everybody needs to go look at H.R. 5 if you haven't looked at it. It's very important for the future of our children in terms of the issue of this transgender stuff. That's not gay bashing, because my aunt and my uncle were both gay, and I interviewed Sir Lady Java, who was the Grand Marshal for the gay parade in California a few years back. So I'm not talking about that. But I do not like the demasculation of our young brothers. And by the way, I have never been a feminist. I'm a strong black woman because of my dad, and I will read everybody. Okay? I live on the Upper East Side. Why? Because when my ex-husband and I moved from Brooklyn, which you can't move to Fort Greene anymore because you can't afford it, we couldn't move to Harlem. These Democrats are scaring black folks with gentrification, open borders, and the president being a racist. And we've got to call them out.
I agree with you on that, but I got a lot of calls online. I got to get to a few more. So thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
What I need to ask you is, who is the contact person here in New York for Blacks for Trump? How can I find that information out?
Well, okay. Now, the name of the organization is Black Voices for Trump. There's a different one called Black. There's another one called Blacks for Trump. That ain't the one you want. Now, you're probably going to contact a guy named King Face. He's in New York. He's part of the...
I know who he is, a young brother.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to get in touch with him.
Black
Voices for Trump?
Black Voices for Trump, yes. King Face, he's really big on Instagram. I don't know if he's on social media or whatnot, but he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. King Face.
And it's
Black Voices for Trump.
Black Voices for Trump.
That's right.
Okay, because I need to contact him, like I said. And I'll call in again.
Okay.
But everybody, I'll be going live on my Facebook page, so I'll be giving everybody the information that we can give. Last thing, please support Rosebud, the comedian. Everybody
I got you.
Watch him. He's in California. You know, Patricia Dixon.
All right.
And last thing,
hold on, caller. I'm sorry. I got like no time left. I gotta get to the next call. I'm sorry. Call back again, and we'll get to it. Okay.
I'll call in again.
All right.
Great show.
All right. Thank you. All right. Shout out to the caller. And thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. All right, Jordan, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can. I hear you well.
All right, just making sure. How's everything going?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, it's very interesting about the coronavirus because we found out there were 11 cases in San Antonio for the coronavirus today.
Wow, 11 in San Antonio, like confirmed cases?
Yeah, because apparently there was like some cruise ship from Wuhan coming in to Texas, and it was like it was real that a few of them had the virus and they're put in quarantine.
So are they still on the ship, or are they just like roaming around the community?
Let me see. I don't know. They said they're under quarantine orders in San Antonio after they arrived.
Okay. So they're not just, waltzing around, going to the grocery store.
They're not waltzing around.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, all right, I got you.
I don't think it's outbroken in Texas yet, but it was about to happen. So
yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I see a lot of people bashing Trump and Pence, but I see nobody bashing China for causing all of this. It really activates those almonds a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, because it's like, okay, we know where it started. They're over there eating bats and rats and cats and dogs and everything up under the sun, and voila, there's a new virus. Or it could have been a bioweapon. Whatever it is, it didn't start here. It started in China. So they're responsible, not us. All we gotta do right now is just keep ourselves safe and try to contain it the best we can.
Yeah, because I mean, really, I see Jimmy Kimmel talking about, what's Trump going to do? Is he going to pray? I mean, what's Pence going to do? Is he going to pray the coronavirus away? And I'm like, what can Pence do?
I mean, the thing about it is people don't know too much about Mike Pence. When he was the governor of Indiana, Indiana was seen as the model of how to handle public health crisis, with the opioid crisis and stuff like that. And people tried to slam Pence because of his reaction to an HIV outbreak in Indiana in 2015, but that wasn't his fault. What happened was people were injecting a special kind of drug. Like it wasn't fentanyl or anything like that. It was a prescription drug that was unique. I forgot what it was called, but it was an outbreak of people using that. Just it kind of blew up, and people were getting HIV just using dirty needles. So what he ended up doing later on was having a clean needle exchange to prevent it to prevent it from spreading. Although he didn't want to do that at first, is because if you do that, you may encourage people to use it, therefore making the problem worse. People just describe him as handling it improperly, but he did right as a governor for a very long time.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, you think people are gonna care? Nobody's gonna care. They'll try anything to dump on Trump and Pence because they don't want to criticize our overlord China, because China is worthy of criticism for this. That's why I kind of hate all these communist governments. Like when Chernobyl happened and the nuclear power plant exploded, the nuclear reactor core exploded, nobody knew what to do. They were just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, and like tens of billions of dollars was wasted, and people's lives were greatly affected by it in Eastern Europe. And now you have the same thing going on here, where you have China. Something happened, and now this virus is spreading all over the world. They don't know how to handle it. They're seeing what sticks on the wall, from steroids to anything like that, and nobody's gonna really call out them for screwing this up, because this is all their fault. Stock market crashing and all that stuff. This is all their fault. They need to be held accountable for that.
Most definitely, absolutely.
But I saw there was an exchange between Ocasio-Cortez and Ted Cruz and about this whole thing. And Cortez was like, "Oh, Pence isn't qualified," and then Cruz decided to troll her about Y chromosomes, saying what they were about. And then she started bringing out, "Oh, I won this science fair at MIT. Oh, I know, I'm an expert on
a science fair."
Science fair. Won an award. I'm like, okay, well, go find a cure for the coronavirus then, since you're so intelligent with all these the microbiology stuff.
That's right, exactly.
But yeah, I mean that whole thing was fun, because Cruz was like, "Hey, by the way, nice job on the science fair," because he knows not to take her seriously.
Right.
But this Mulan, the film, was set to be a hit in China, but after this whole outbreak thing, people are kind of questioning that.
Yeah. I mean, like the theaters are going to be kind of bare. It's not really. It's going to be a problem for movies because they depend on China for a lot of their money.
Exactly, and a comment on the White House meeting with Diamond and Silk and all the people praying for Trump. I have to wonder. Angela Rye says, like, who are these people? And I'm sitting here thinking, you have no idea who Alveda King is?
Right. It's like, if you don't know, then why don't you know? You should know who Alveda King is. I mean, come on. Do you know a guy named Martin Luther King? Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? But she knows who all of us are. She's been on TV with us before. She knows who we are. So I don't understand why she's trying to play games like that.
I do hate that concept of, Angela, you mentioned this in your video, but she's talking about Black people are not monoliths, but then you want to shame people for getting out of the whole echo chamber that Black people have been in for quite some time.
Right.
And the same thing happened with Dyson, Michael Eric Dyson, when he was he was having that debate with Jordan Peterson. He was like, Black people can't be individual with white supremacy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here thinking, how can Black people be individuals if you're doing things like saying that Donald Trump is Kanye West's ventriloquist?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. It's just a joke. I don't really, but again, CNN is a joke in general, and Angela Rye.
That's right.
And as a last note before I go, I wanted to talk about Bernie Sanders for a short while, because I can't fathom him being able to praise certain aspects of dictatorships. Like, for example, he likes to boast about the literacy program for Cuba. you have to look at the literacy program to see how, and the circumstances in Cuba to see how bad it really is. So the whole point of it was that there were already like an 80% literacy rate. Castro wanted to increase that to 100% and have them all read at least a first grade level, which I would think is pretty easy to do, considering the level you're at. But people are making a praise for that. But the question is, how can you be literate and be successful in a country that doesn't have books, for a country that is impoverished? Like, you all have all these literate people, yet they're in poverty. I mean, honestly, it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. But people will just kind of like use that as a talking point to really just, at the end of the day, praise communism for being good. Look at this. They improved your reading, but people are starving, they're hungry. You got to wait in a line to even get a loaf of bread. I mean, come on.
You got your rights being abused and all that stuff. And the same thing with China. Like, he talks about China decreasing their poverty to virtually 0%. Okay, what else happened because of that? Income inequality increased because of that. Because now, ever since the Cultural Revolution ended with Mao, you now have people above the poverty line, and then the really rich, and income inequality increased. And now, since jobs were urbanized, and I know I'm spending time here, but now that jobs were urbanized, rural places didn't have as much success as those places, and so parents had to go to the urban cities and could not bring their children with them. Like, China currently has 60 million children who are living without their parents because they're going to jobs in the city. And you know how the effects of the lack of parenthood that causes, depression, juvenile behavior, and all delinquent behavior and all that stuff. So my point is, people need to think outside the box as opposed to focusing on just the good things.
That's right.
All right. And all right, so I'm going to head out. I got a lot more, but I'll save it for later.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right. Thanks, my man Jordan, for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. We got super chats to read right quick. Then I get back to the calls. And you guys on the Jordan number to call is 434-658-1220. If you like what you're hearing so far, please like the video. Please share the video as well. And if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. It is absolutely free. But thank you to the super chatters. We have shouting from the cheap seats who says, white supremacist noun, a minority who by becoming successful smashes the victim narrative. See Candace Owens. See also Lauren Chin and ABL. Hey, there you go. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Big Al, who says Democrats laughing at Trump and his economy due to coronavirus, but Democrats would vote to put a socialist in the White House. LOL. Exactly. Like, what are we talking about here? But that's how Democrats operate. But thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Ellie Bell, who says 90% of all our medicine is made in China. That's a problem. The antibiotics and even some of the face masks and stuff like that, which we don't have a lot of. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to JNBD, who says, thanks for your great work, ABL. God bless Patriots. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words. I most certainly appreciate it. Thank you to Pineappleotomus, who says, for listeners, check out Wim Hof, Ultimate Health. Alrighty, that's WIMHOF. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to 64 Pink 256, who says, play NPR Mobsters Players Revenge on Facebook, iOS, and Android. God bless ABL. Thank you for that, and I most certainly appreciate you for your donation. Let's get back to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let's go to, already, let's try 206 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Whoa. Hold on 1 second here. ABL?
Yes, indeed.
What up, son? It's Dougie.
Oh, everything's good, man. What's going on?
Oh, same old, man. Scrapping, trying to, kick, scratch and claw my way up, Black history, man. Billy Lee. You know who Billy Lee is, right?
No. Who's that?
George Washington's best friend. Couldn't have founded the country without him, man. They were the two best warriors in the country. The best riders and the best shooters. He saved George Washington's life a few times, at least. I mean, I don't think anybody would have talked smack about Billy Lee in front of him either. So I think he's definitely my top 3, you know. And founding father, founding brother. So you remember when Jesse Owens made Hitler's master race look like a bunch of chumps? Good times, right?
Wow.
So coronavirus, man. You know, I talked about a month ago about it, but you know, right after I talked to you, did you see the Resident Evil connection?
No.
So the Level 4 biolab in China has the same brand logo as the Evil Umbrella Corp, who created the zombie virus in the game.
Wow. No way. You serious?
Yeah. In the game it's red, but in real life it's blue.
Wow.
And Raccoon City, where it takes place, is an anagram for Corona. So chew on that for a little while, right? Too many coincidences,
man, you just dropped something on me right there. I'm gonna think about that for a minute. Wow.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. You got to scroll down a while because they're trying to hide it. But yeah, I mean the brand logo is right there. It's same exact shape, same exact thing, just different. Half of it's a different color. But you know, I believe Trump. You know, I was telling you, everybody, be safe. You know, look, buying some food and all the stuff you want right now is going to help Trump's economy. Okay, but I believe Trump. He's right more than the fake news. Okay. The ideal temperature is 40 degrees for it to survive on surfaces, right? So the hotter it gets, the shorter period of time it will survive. And there's a possibility the virus is specific towards Asian DNA phenotype, right? Just speculation, but as far as I know, 0 Caucasians have died as of yet. So if it does break out in the U.S. and that ends up true, right, that's a racist virus, man, for real. Crime against humanity if somebody created that monster too.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
absolutely.
For sure. But yeah, ain't no harm in buying a bunch of food that you can eat. I mean, I'm not saying go full Mormon. You know, 2 years. If you want to go to heaven, they got to have 2 years of food. They're going to inherit the earth if Yellowstone blows up. Next subject, Bernie Bros. You're somebody inner Clint Eastwood, right? Instead of El Camino, it's like El Antonio. You know.
Yes, indeed.
Sir. Get off my lawn.
Get off the lawn.
So, yeah, you know, you said you didn't really get the whole well-regulated militia thing. But Emilio Estevez and Nate Dogg told you what it was, man. You know, what do you think Nate Dogg's going to do if he sees some globalists all in his homies mix, right? So you just need 71 friends, you know, who are warriors, man. And that's, you know, it really nothing funny about it, man. You know, I got a strap, and I'm scared that I will have to, you know, squeeze that trigger. But that's a well-regulated militia, is an entire town full of people who are willing to die for the Constitution, you know, and so, yeah, but Bernie can't even protect himself from DNC corruption, man. And can't even convince his wife Jane not to be corrupt, man. She was borrowing money on the taxpayer's dime, knowing that her school couldn't pay it back. Shame. So, you know, I disagree with some of Trump's stuff because I want it to happen faster. I see a lot of people dying, but I want to tell you why I like Trump because you know, I don't want to be looking at what he's doing wrong, you know, and you know, starting from when he stood on Ground Zero, day after 9/11. Said it was impossible. He said, I got guys, man. It's impossible. It couldn't fall down like that. And then, so he believes in physics, right? So then he says we need more global warming. So I looked it up. CO2 is only 0.04 of 1% of the entire Earth's atmosphere. So he's got a point, right? I've talked to you about that before, right? Mm-hmm. The greenhouse gas Nazis thinking that the CO2 causes airports to recalibrate runways, right? Science, man. So if in this country, if you're 100 and you go into a hospital, you die of complications due to influenza, they record that as death by flu, not death by natural old age. In China, they don't do that. They don't like failure. So the numbers are different, right? So Trump's a science truther to me, man. You know, and it's by the way, the Scalise shooting, that was a deep state hit, man, because he called out child slave traders on the floor of the House. And the guy that shot him had an adopted daughter who committed suicide, so they gave him another one. So
wow.
Now, yeah. So you know, it's funny, man. You know, I'm in Seattle, and there was this guy with his pants around his ankles smoking a meth pipe the other day, and I thought about you. Yeah, and then today there was a girl with multicolored hair stealing some candy. I thought about you again. So, because hey man, who talks about it more than you, right? So basically, Trump, man, he had to change his tune on Matthew 8:18:6, right? I don't know if you know about that, but you can look up Matthew 18:6 about hurting kids, right? He had to backpedal on WikiLeaks, and he can't talk about how the corporations are buying their stock back anymore with the QE money because they've been doing repo market since 2001, right? But either way, man, number one thing, besides never starting a war and de-escalating 4 or 5 now, which is awesome, right? Most peaceful president of all time. 50% of Trump supporters think that HRC is involved with child slaving. And I cried, man. I was so happy when I heard that because I'd known about it for 35 years. And the fact that half the population knows, because half of those people who don't even vote know too. And I'm a Django, I'm a Django Unchained type of person, baby. We got thousands of traitorous judges, and I hope Trump can get them all. Okay, he's the best truther we could ask for. He's the best business consolidator for when the economy does get hit. And we're in good hands, man. He's funny too, man. A Bloomberg impersonation. Thanks, man. I almost missed that. Thanks for that, man. So, yeah, man, it's always good talking to you. And, I just wanted to, call up and talk about your subjects. Oh, and don't be too hard on Ivan, man. I'd hire him. I'd make him wear a gas mask. I'd find a job that required that so I couldn't hear him talking. But he shows up to work every day, man. He's your Juan Williams, right?
That's right. Exactly. 100%.
Then he fires you up, too. And you know what? You should have kids, sir. You are extremely patient. You're extremely patient. You make a good dad someday. All right?
That's right.
I'm going to let you get other calls. You have a wonderful evening, sir.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Always a pleasure. Bye.
All right. That was a great call. My man, that's that 3,000 IQ right there. Super smart guy. I could tell. Shout out to him. All right. Let's get to the next call here. Let's go 206 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Charles.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, sorry, ABL. I did that spot. Hey. So just a couple important things. Just like to start with a little bit of a joke. I think it was from last week's show. So how liberals like to talk about misgendering somebody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember last week you were talking about, to quote, talk about what's her face, Kamala, Harris, and you said about how a black woman or woman of color, and I was just thinking on last week's show, I was like, man, not misgender, but misidentify her race, if you will, So surprised, but the PC police weren't all over that, but we know how those things go. But anyway, you got your. Yeah, man, just thought that was, kind of funny, but just poking fun at their nonsense. But yesterday's video when you said about how Angela Rye, John Lemon mocking Trump voters, again, another example of, not only something that can grind our gears, burn our biscuit, and just piss us off, if you will. It's just another example. If the shoe was on the other foot, like the last 3 or 4 years, like most anything else, whether it's been any type of verbal harassment, eggs and vandalism to your car, physical assault, etc. If the shoe was on the other foot, imagine how it would be. And yet you have the same type of people, the same type of liberals. You've got MSDNC or MS13NBC or MSNBS. Because there's many different nicknames for it. I mean, yours is MSN or MS13NBC, and the MSDNC, that's President Trump and Sean Hannity, and then there's others. I'll just say one more. John Miller uses MSNBS, but
that's a good one.
Understanding, right? Gotta be different. Blah blah blah. Oh, but wait. You disagree with me? And then of course Angela Rye and greasy lipped witch Donna Lamone. Anybody in the chat will know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to swear on your show. Shout out to Jericho Green, greasy lipped witch Donna Lamone And that man on at 9 p.m. on MSN, you see Ricky Maddow, it's not a white male, which is another one, ABL. Earlier, man, you only said white, you didn't say white, but I know it's all cool, man. Just throwing that out. So, there's a woman, there's a person of color, there's someone who's not Christian, what else do we call them? So that there is that, so just like thinking, they just keep on doing that. And don't you think that, by this point, they're only gonna, it's like, if they're not living in an echo chamber, that is to say, their viewers with PDS or are stuck to that they're only gonna drive people away, right? Like moderates, independents, regular everyday normies who don't follow politics much. If they happen to turn on the TV, the TV set or wherever they're watching, they're not gonna want to watch that, right? What do you think?
So they won't watch what now?
Just about what they pulled on Don Lemon's show. They're only going to turn more people off, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you because stuff like that. It's like, okay, the people that are just watching regular TV, why would you voluntarily tune into something like that where they're nasty, where they're attacking people? Nobody wants to see that. They're turning channel. People are watching CNN because a lot of times they're held captive. They're in a hotel, not a hotel, but an airport, and there's blasting right in front of them. And, they're in the car dealership. That's the only reason why they're watching it. They're not going to turn on that voluntarily.
Right. No, exactly. But there's also good news, Anthony. There's another conservative YouTuber. His name is Steve Turley. Just to put him out, he had a video about 2 to 3 months ago when he mentioned, and I saw an article which confirmed it, that CNN is losing their airport monopoly. Which for some of us, I believe you travel a lot, and I know I travel a lot. And to anybody in this chat, for any of you who's traveling a lot, you may be losing. You may not have to be watching CNN anymore. That is, if you're not on your phone, whatever. In the Philadelphia and San Francisco international airports, Steve Turley mentioned in his video that they did not renew their contracts. So that's coming to an end.
Finally,
so we don't have to. Right. So we don't have to watch the network of Slick Willie and Blamery Crooked Rodham Clinton anymore. I'm sorry, man. I just have nicknames for them, so no more CNN. And then to get to my other point, ABL. The other point is you just gotta love it. Let's just look at guys like you and I. We're guys in our 30s, but look at who the left loves to attack: teenagers and children, and then elderly people. 70 plus, 80 plus teenagers. Young kids. Very rarely are they going to attack like guys, our age. Doesn't it always seem like they just love to go after people that are, more often than not, the vast majority of the time, towards the least able, to defend themselves, or at least not as good as like a man like our age, like guys in their 30s.
Yeah, they always do that. That's a common thing. So they'll go to some of these rallies where people aren't armed, and a lot of times you catch somebody by themselves, where they're like 15 or 20 of them. It'd be one person, maybe an elderly person or a woman that seems kind of small. They may attack them if they feel like, they're on the wrong side politically. But when we had that gun rally in Virginia, there were no Antifa there. There was no violence, no crime. It wasn't even any kind of trash on the ground. You had guys getting on their hands and knees, picking up stickers from the ground that were stuck to the ground just to make sure everything was clean. So you see how things are when you have conservatives in a place. Everything's cool, everything's safe, and everybody's armed responsibly, versus these Antifa guys. They get all kind of needle and drug paraphernalia, waste, all kind of stuff. It's just nasty people, and I think people can understand that at this particular point in time.
Yeah. No, definitely. Just one follow-up question to that. I watched the John Miller video to that on January 20th when he was there, and for the most part, everything seemed to be pretty cool, calm, and and collected. And did you go to that rally, ABL?
What rally was that?
Yeah, did you go to the January 20th rally for Second Amendment rights in Richmond?
No, I wanted to go, but I just couldn't go because of I was going to something else at the same time. I couldn't make it, but I wanted to go. Oh,
gotcha. Yeah, man. Yeah, because as many of us know, I know that's home state. I just feel for any of your family and friends who are still in Virginia. We know you're in Tennessee now, but it's just a bummer for them. And they have to do obnoxious blackface north them in a state like Virginia. But that's why I say for me, I'm out on the left coast, man. And to Marina from LA earlier, shout out to her. Hey, all on the left coast, I'm with her and Justin Miller. Don't worry, we'll kick the commies out. But anyway, ABL, gonna let you get to your next caller, man. And thanks again for taking my call, man. And I hope to see you. We got 8 months and 3 days until we're gonna see some screaming at the skies. Calm, dignified. We got this, guys. They're gonna scream at the sky on November 3rd when the map is so red.
100%, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care, ABL. Okay, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And we got a few more callers on the line. I'm going to try to get to a few more here. 712, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony, you're speaking to Alan from Iowa. How are we doing today?
Everything's great. Can't complain. About yourself?
Great. Hey, I just wanted to kind of bring some things up. Let me turn my phone off a little bit while I listen to you. I want to talk a little bit about Trump, and especially the black people need to really look at something here, especially of them calling, all us Trump supporters racist and him racist and stuff like that. There was I don't know her name. I wish I would have caught it, but it was at the, I think it's today or yesterday, the History Black Month at White House. There was a 90-year-old gal that basically, sweet gal, basically went out, and this would be a good clip for you too, I think. She went out and she spoke about how she got on a train, took a train ride from, if I remember, Nashville, Tennessee, all the way to Houston, Texas. Did you see that or not?
No, I didn't.
And she talked about this is back in 1955, and the conductor came up to her basically and just said, "You need to move back to the back of the train." And she says, "No, I'm not gonna go no Jim Crow."
Oh no, yeah, I did hear that. Yes, I did hear that. Yeah, because she was talking on stage when Trump was right there. I did hear that.
Yes, exactly. The one thing that struck me, and it struck me from the very beginning when I seen President Trump in the second debate, when, like, for instance, Ben Carson, instead of just, like the rest of them did, like Ben Carson, they all walked by. When Trump went by, he stopped and stood right beside Ben Carson until they straightened it out. One thing I did notice about President Trump, he's not a young guy. I mean, he's way older than me. And yet, when she got done, she said also, she goes, "I don't believe in abortion, and I know this man doesn't either." And she held his hand, and he held hers. But when she was heading off the stage, he actually helped her off the stage. So, and I thought, if that doesn't show respect to somebody, no matter, it doesn't matter what your color of your skin is or something, but to me that if he was racist, he's very, very bad at it. But it's such a clip that I thought that should be kind of highlighted, that he is not I don't believe he's a racist. I don't. So I kind of wanted to kind of say something on you about that. I also got done, you're talking about Candace Owens. I've been following her since she first came out with her little videos. She had an interview with Glenn Beck. I would suggest anybody to watch that. Very entailing about her, and she kind of predicts that you had some great callers today, really some great callers, especially the first one. Was it 5 of them, if I remember? 5 blacks are going to kind of be voting for Trump. You guys are making a difference. Don't think you're not. You are making a difference. But anyhow, she thinks that it's going to be between 20 and maybe 30% of blacks can be voting for Trump this year, which I thought was, that's kind of really gutsy, but she should know. So I just wanted to give her kudos, because Glenn Beck says, "I think you're going to go far, and we'll see." So just want to touch on that. I was watching a little bit of CPAC too. Have you ever been to CPAC?
I've not, no.
That would be something that I'm actually thinking maybe next year I need to go. I've never been to it.
Yeah, I'm going next year. I almost went this year, but I was a little bit too late when I decided. I'll definitely be going next year though, for sure.
Yeah. There was a gentleman, I've been kind of following him a little bit. His name's John James. He gave an inspirational speech about his father. He's running for senator in this great state of Michigan, and I'm going to send him some money to try to support him because he's just an elegant speaker. I mean, I'm military. He's military. I have a lot of respect for everybody that's in the military that's running for Congress. So anyhow, if you get a chance to look at that John James, I think his name's John James out of Michigan, and listen to his speech. It was. I was very inspired. It actually made me jumping up on the floor and stuff and listening to him. So, anyhow, I wish you a good evening, and just to let you guys know, too, every supporter. Let me put it this way: Candace Owens said something in that interview, and it's true. The black people are basically the power because the liberals have basically kind of given you the power, just like you were saying earlier about the gentleman that had the shooting. They're not bringing that up because what? Because he's colored and because he's black. And you do have a larger platform than you think. And you're using it for good works. We need to kind of turn people around and get them off the plantation.
All right.
So
well,
I thank you. I thank you from the person of my heart, an old white man that's got a heart here, that I really appreciate you, and I believe in the things that you do is going to be good for the country, and that's what we need.
thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you for letting me talk.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I got time for one more call. So I put on up. Nippin, what's going on?
Oh, not much. How are you? I thought I almost proceeded to go into my Skype to call again, but I didn't know you'd picked up this time.
We're right here. So what's going on?
Oh, the left have now politicized the coronavirus.
Yes, pretty much. That's what's going on.
As if Trump has bought it to the States.
You know, I think anytime they can try to attack Trump, they'll do it. They don't even really care what it is. Things that he has no problem. Things that he didn't do at all. They're not his fault. They'll still try to blame on him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they're acting as if everyone's going to be wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, nah, I think we'll be just fine. It's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, the majority of people who died are either Chinese or the elderly.
Yeah, like the people that are at risk for it are, like you said, elderly, or if you're already compromised with your immune system. If you got some kind of other issue going on, that'll make you susceptible to illnesses like this.
Yeah. So now everyone on the left is also blaming Trump of shock horror racism. Saying, oh, the coronavirus, people are moving away from Chinese people on the trains because because they might be spreading the coronavirus. Yeah, that's why we're moving away from them.
Yeah, it's not racist to try and protect your life.
Exactly. I'm not going to, if I'm called a racist for trying to protect my life, then so be it. Call me a racist.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, now a conservative group have backed someone in the UK who's known as, I can't remember her name, but she's been labelled the anti-Greta.
Okay, all right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, but she's been labeled the anti-Greta.
Okay, I got you.
So, yeah, now apparently, I don't know much about it, but I'm assuming people are losing their marbles. I wanted to say something else, but I don't want to be cancelled.
Nah, I get it. I understand.
So, yeah, and now CNN are now shaming black Trump supporters live on television.
That's right.
And I also watched your video on how who was it that was nearly killed by that Bernie bro?
Oh, you're talking about Steve Scalise?
Yes, Steve Scalise.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of Bernie bros were saying, how could we possibly try to kill someone? And that person was a Bernie supporter.
Right. But people don't seem to really pick that up. They kind of like ignore it, like it's not really, a big deal. And they say, oh, well, no, the whole Bernie thing don't matter. They try to ignore that. Well, then they try to say, if a Trump supporter gets into a fight, they didn't even start. They'll say the Trump supporter is the one that brought it on himself and he's violent. But it's not us. It's the other way around. It's them. Exactly.
Now, then Bernie Sanders was back then saying, oh, he didn't condemn them. He wanted to protect his image, which is already tarnished as it is.
That's right.
So Harvey Weinstein found guilty. About time.
Nippy, we got some noise in the background. What is that?
Oh, it's my phone. Let me just put it on silent.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great.
Yeah, sorry. So many people are sending me notifications.
I see.
Yeah, it's off.
Okay.
So, yeah. Bernie Sanders then proceeded to praise Fidel Castro.
Yeah, because he's all about trying to push communism as something that's a thing. And he'll go through any lengths to do it. Even praising a guy like Castro.
And then he has the nerve to call Trump a racist, a dictator, and all those things.
Right.
When Bernie Sanders praises Mao Zedong and Fidel Castro, who are actual dictators.
Right.
So this is just another smear campaign against Trump.
No, I'm with you.
So, yeah. Now, when will so now the left always blames us for being racist.
I hear more noise in the background. You got like what's going on? Let's tighten it up a little bit.
It's off now. I had YouTube running in the background.
Okay, I got you.
Let's turn everything off. Yeah, it's off now.
There we go.
So now there was a video saying Bernie bros show up at a Democrat officials. This is. Are they just going around random houses gate crashing?
They're trying to protest. They're trying to say we don't want anything to happen at the primary, any kind of funny business happening, Bernie Sanders getting the nomination taken away from him. But I'm like, okay, you want to protest, that's fine, but don't come to my house because you might get something that you didn't bargain for when you step to me.
They're protesting that they want peace at the rally, yet they're being the complete opposite of peace.
Yeah, don't come to my house. If you want to protest, do it somewhere else. But you come to my house, you might get, hey, I got a surprise.
Yeah.
You might not like it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yep. So, yeah.
Well, Nippin, I got to actually wrap because I'm kind of past my time. It's like 11:04.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. It's 4 a.m. around my time. Yeah. 4 minutes past 4 in London.
Right, no doubt.
So yeah, is that all?
That's it, man. I gotta wrap it on up, man. So thank you for the call.
Yep. I shall call you. Oh wait, my thing is finished now. My work placement. So I shall see you on Thursday.
Thursday your time, Wednesday my time. I got you, boss.
Yep. I shall see you then.
All right, then. Take care, man.
Peace.
Peace. All righty. Well, that'll be a wrap for me. And if you're listening to me, change your smoke detector battery, please. I'm hearing that chirping in the background. That's what that is. Change that, please. You don't want to get caught in a situation where there's something happens and you need the alarm to work and it's not. So change the battery in the smoke detector, please. And if anybody hears that beeping in their house, change your smoke detector. My dad, firefighter, 22 years. If he was to come to your house and hear that, he'll trip. He'll have a fit. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to the last super chatters right here. And you guys have been great tonight. Super Chat, PayPal, Patreon, the membership thing, buying the merch. You guys have been great. Thank you to Stacy Felice, who says thank you with the emoji. Well, thank you for your donation and your very kind support. I appreciate it. Thank you to my man SOBC, who says, I'm tired of identity politics. People on the right sound like leftists now. Blacks this, black that, brown this, brown that. To H with all that crap. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. I think one thing people got to understand is the black community, if you will, want the outreach from the right. It's a request. So it's like, okay, if there's a request there to outreach in order to maybe just get more votes and to be a part of the community, all right, ask and you shall receive. Black Voices for Trump. There you go. Boom. We'll have an office right near you. We'll have guys and girls right near you could talk to and come on into the fold. And my goal, my viewpoint, my vision for the future would be to have everybody pretty much be on one accord to where the labels won't be necessary to have it all. That's my dream for the future. Shout out to Mandatory Carey, who says Iran created coronavirus to frame China. Hey, that could happen because they had a lot of cases over there too. Didn't the vice president get it? Different story, and I digress for now. Thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. I will be back live on Wednesday, and of course, I'll be live Saturday next week as well. This video will be available as an audio-only podcast on Monday on your favorite audio streaming platform. We're now on iTunes. We're on Spotify, Google Podcast, whatever it is, the Google Podcast platform, Stitcher, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcast, just search for me, ABL Live, and you should see this red icon come up with my name, Anthony Logan, on it, and that's the podcast right there. And if you want a link, that is in the description box below. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the chat box so you have it at your fingertips at your convenience. Let me go ahead and put that right there. And that's it. That's an Anchor FM link. But if you click there, you'll be able to see the other platforms that it's on. Alrighty. So I think that will be a wrap. Thank you for joining it again. I will see you guys again live on Wednesday. Videos every day throughout the week, except for Sunday. And thank you to the moderators, of course. You guys did a great job. Shout out to Michelle A, Eliza Jean, Sushi, Bill from the Hills, all you guys for doing a great job. Ansel, everybody, thank you all. That's all I got. That's everything. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.